episode, but we're actually going to be turning them into episodes because this is going to be an ongoing story, which will take a little bit of time, but not too much. With my buddy Jeff. Say hello to the beautiful people, Jeff.
Hello, beautiful people.
And then, just curious, can anybody out there hear him very well?
I will continue to make beautiful, sweet, soothing sounds until someone says you need to silence your sibilant susurrations. I will continue.
Beautiful. Okay, we've got plenty of volume from you. And then, if you wouldn't mind monitoring the stream to see if the music is coming back off. Can you hear the music?
I can hear the music through my headphones right now.
Okay, and let me double check. It's coming back off. Can you hear the music? Perfect. Music is coming through. And
Very
these
nice.
are the most important things that we'll need. So, other than that, are you ready? Are you excited?
I am ready.
Okay, so, let me get my, I forgot I took off my, my lovely webcam. So, this way you can at least see what I'm doing. Even though I can't, oh, look, all the settings are lost. So that way you can kind of watch my expressions if you want to.
Sure. I think I know where my webcam is, but I won't dig around for it right now.
No worries. It's not essential for you. It's kind of more of a thing that I'll need to do, so that way.
Right.
Because you're the one who's going to be needing to see the expressions of people. Pull that a little bit. Oh, wow, I am way too big. Hold on, let me shrink myself. This is not about you, Ty. There we go. All right, so, can you see me in the corner? Looking good?
No, I cannot see you just yet, but sometimes it can take a moment for it to kick in.
No, it should be on the stream, not in. You'll have to watch kind of my.
Oh, on the stream. I am sorry. Hang on.
Unfortunately,
I do not have the stream open.
I cannot do both at the same time. Oh, you know what? Let me
when
add
you
it.
said hear the music, I was like, yes, I hear the music, but I didn't check the stream.
No worries. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and change the avatar sizes, and I'll just go ahead and broadcast in Roll20. That's actually a better idea. That's what we normally do. I hadn't that out. So I'll go ahead and remove my webcam from this. I'm so glad I have this beautiful music that is just free for us to use to help cover.
It's very nice, though.
I know, right? This one's special for this particular one. All right, so broadcast.
All right, Twitch is updating here. Just be a moment.
All right, and then I'll go ahead and refresh this, so I'll lose the
This
beautiful.
D&D session brought to you by Vangelis.
Vangelis? What's Vangelis?
Ah. So you know the music that made Blade Runner so iconic? Yeah,
Yes.
Vangelis.
Okay. I've actually been listening to a lot of Gunship lately, because Beard is great at recommending music.
That is true.
Ha! You'll never
All
guess
right,
what I
so
have on top of my
Twitch.
webcam. Can you? Okay, so if you refresh Roll20, you should be able to see me now.
All right, let me. I just wanted to make sure I'm muted. Okay, I can see your face here. It's not going to be. It's going to be off center, of course.
Yeah.
Because the delay with Twitch is going to be so much further behind.
Oh yeah, so I switched over. So if you refresh Roll20, you'll be able to see me. And look who I've got hanging out with me today. My little salamander special first edition painted by Jeffrey himself. He's my webcam buddy. I put him on top of my webcam so I have somebody to talk to when I'm just streaming by myself.
It's your duck.
Exactly. All right.
Let's see. I am not seeing you, so let me reset inside of Roll20.
Sure.
Audio output, no. Audio input, video input. I want to broadcast to others. Nothing. I want to receive video and voice.
Perfect.
Connect and.
Oh, and I hope you don't mind. I did write some backstory for you, just because.
That's fine.
But it's based on everything that we've discussed, so I don't want you. And you can change anything about it at any time if you ever feel the want or need.
So unfortunately, it's not coming up in Roll20 for me, although
Really?
I do see that it's working on your screen for you. But of course, like I said, the delay is so
Go to your.
extravagant, it won't work.
Go to your options. Actually, if that little wheel in the corner, you have to actually set it so you can receive video.
I have.
Okay, and did you change
I
it
want to
from
receive.
player video avatar to instead of just names? Because if it's set to just names, you won't see anything. You have to change the player video avatar size to regular.
No, it's all set there, and I've got it set for large. I've got all the inputs up. I want to receive video and voice. No.
Very
No,
strange.
no. No, let me refresh
I was gonna go just refresh. I just hit the refresh on Roll20 altogether. So, yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a pretty fun stream, because yeah, I put this together a little while ago for you, but I'm really fucking excited.
Nice. I'm excited too. I'm sorry it's been so long. Are you running Chrome or Firefox?
I am running Firefox.
I am running Firefox too. How odd. Video input source. No, I want nothing. I want to receive video and voice. I want to connect a large default. Blah 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 blah.
Oh, and it's Mananan.
Oh, there we go.
Right?
Finally got it.
Hell yeah.
It's a Gaelic name, and I have completely forgotten how to pronounce it. So it's Manx.
Thanks. Perfect. Excellent.
Okay, now we're getting actually really nice connection now, so I am seeing you in real time.
Perfect. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and dive in to Manx Escapes. So, let's change up the music just a little bit. Something a little more suitable for the God's Scythe. Manx was never a child. He was not born into the world to forge his own path. Manx was created and burdened by a god of death. A god that takes without explanation. A god that serves a higher, unexplained entity known as entropy. Mananan Maclear awoke to the material plane and saw it not with eyes of a child, but those of a farmer in a field of wheat, seeing beyond the now into what will be. Beyond his reflections on the world around him, he felt something pull at his mind, something pulling him forward. So he started after the feeling, and as he did, he heard a whisper. One has cheated fate, has cheated me. I will not be cheated. I will not be ignored. Find him, my champion, my only child. And with that, he sees a vision of a man laughing at an inn. He knows his name. It is Icelius, and Icelius must die. After a week of following the strings of fate, he finally found the immortal. His haunting visage sent villagers and children fleeing away. Icelius swaggered out of the inn. Hello there, terrible beast! Leave this village in peace, or suffer the wrath of Icelius, the Undying! He said, much swagger in his words. Manx ignored the words of the abomination and started to run towards him. As his run becomes a charge and he lowers his head, feeling rage boil in him for the first time, he releases an earth-shattering roar and impales Icelius on his horns. Blood spurts out of Icelius' mouth. The surprise on his face is frozen as Manx throws him from his horns. How did you... Manx walks slowly towards the bloody mess of a man and raises his scythe. No, I'm not done yet! And before he can bring it down, Icelius starts to mutter an incantation and waves his hand as the scythe comes down towards him. A flash of light flashes before the eyes of Manx, and he is floating, suddenly, in a timeless void. He struggles to move, his rage not yet satiated, his mission not yet complete. After hours of struggle, he feels his muscles tiring, and his rage fades. The insanity of the void begins to tear at his mind as he witnesses a storm of magic flare into and out of being, spewing the madness from everything, from the darkness and the ever-changing horrors to a single shoe with a hamster constantly following out. And the endless and undefined time, he sees a ship in the distance. It looks like a ship that should be on the water. But to his surprise, it does not fade or explode like the other things in this strange place. They throw him a rope, and he greedily latches onto it. Upon pulling it in, before he can act, he is assaulted and bludgeoned by the crew. He struggles to fight, but is overwhelmed by the 50 people attacking him. Before his vision fades, he sees a strange creature, noseless, with long ears and greenish-yellow skin. You'll make a fine challenge for the old man. And then blackness takes Max. You awaken in a circular room. There is a single glowing light in front of you. And across from you, you see a similar creature to the one before your vision had blackened. He is sitting cross-legged in front of you, but floating in the air. He has a long gray and whitish beard, long gray-white hair flowing out behind him, and it seems to flow around him as though he is sitting in water, but he is merely floating in air before you. He stares at you as you come to consciousness, and he kind of cocks his head a little bit. It is good you are awake. There is not a lot of time to pass here. May I ask your name?
Sorry, it's my time to kick in. I apologize.
Yes, yeah.
I was listening intently, but I'm like, is this all part of the story? I don't know when it's my turn. Who is it that asks?
Fairly asked, and so I shall answer. My name is Sensei Wrath, and welcome to my prison.
Are you the owner of this prison?
I am not. I am merely one of the incumbents here, and glad to have someone to share the time with, till that time can no longer be shared.
You are a prisoner as well.
I have been the prisoner here for, I would say a long time, but time here seems to have no meaning. I have had many companions as yourself, and eventually, I will warn you now, we will have to fight to the death. But until then, I would enjoy your company, if you would enjoy mine.
I savor none's company save the death that I seek to inflict. Who is this place? Who do I fight? How do I escape?
Would I knew the way to escape, I would have years ago. This is the Githyanki prisons. You are in the abyss, known only by those who find themselves inevitably lost in the realms. Normally, the madness overtakes and tears one apart. With your singular focus seems to have kept you together this far. And as soon as he says this, all of a sudden, in front of you, right above the glowing orb, which is about 3 feet off the ground, you see a tray slowly rise up and appear, and it is full of food. But knowing what you do about life and death, you see there is only enough food for one. This is how they will eventually make us kill each other, for there is not enough for both of us, particularly of someone of your size.
I wouldn't concern yourself with that. If food becomes scarce, I eat many things.
And
my existence is as inevitable as death. Nothing will stop me. Not you, not starvation, and not this Gith hole.
And I pray that be true for you. The only thing I would say is, what good is a purpose if there is no escape? Do you believe in escape, Max?
There is always an escape. There is always a choice. Death is its own escape. That is why I exist. That is why I know that this prison will never hold me.
Spoken as though you are a zealot. Do you even know the god you serve?
I do not, but purpose is its own reward.
Interestingly said. Well, share with me this meal. I know they will send in 2 teacups at the very least. So,
what?
Yes, Max.
What is this food? When do the prisoners, or the goalers appear? What is the manner of the arena?
Well, look around you. You see, looking around, you see there's it's a tile floor, and it's a perfectly circular room. There seems to be nothing else in it except for the light in the center of the room, the food which has just suddenly appeared, and Sensei Wrath across from you. His feet lightly touch the floor, and you see his hair drop with it as gravity seems to once again take its effect on his body. He walks over to the tray and he starts pouring what looks like a light green tea, and he offers you one. Come, sit with me, and tell me more of this dreadful purpose.
Instead of reaching out for the tea, I slowly walk around the outside of the room, running my hands along the walls and using my insight into the nature of magical prisons and magical realms, such as I have suffered in, to investigate the room.
Make an investigation check.
Okay. Let's see. Is my profile in here? The old way was to be able to pull it up, but I do not
it should
know.
be. So your character sheet should be in here.
There we go.
And then so you should just be able to click and be good to go.
Sorry, I misworded that. It was Arcana that I wanted to use.
Oh, that's okay. Let's see, Arcana. You can use an Arcana check. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check then.
Okay. Yoink.
And then, kind of feeling around, you feel like there is something holding it together that is beyond like a natural means, but kind of it doesn't give you any additional information about this place. But you feel as you push against it that strength will probably not be enough alone to break down the walls.
And what was this guy's name again?
Sensei Wrath.
Sensei Wrath. How many opponents, how many cellmates have you shared this room with?
At my last count, 136.
Do you have any idea how much time has passed since the first?
As I said, time here, 136 opponents could be less than a minute. My personal time, I feel as though I've been here. Well, I've measured it by my hair. And with that, he kind of takes a look at his hair. You see him take it in his hands and then pull it forward to his chin. And then as he pulls the hair longer, he starts to look at it, and you see just a small look of surprise in his eyes. He's like, well, I've grown 10 to 12 inches of hair since I was here. So I would guess more than 100 years.
Have you ever sought to escape?
Many, many times. With many different friends who eventually would turn into opponents.
Do I possess my armor and weapon?
Yes, you do.
So here's probably where I could use a little bit of a helpful reminder of the direction in which I should proceed.
Sure. Oh no, just if you can think of anything, is right now the goal. I set this up so it's going to be less technically challenging and more just what you can think of to do. So that way you don't have to worry so much about the rules and remembering what it is you can and can't do. If you see anything on your sheet that you want to try or can think of, try it. We'll play it out.
Okay. So they always provide enough food for one person, right?
That is correct.
Have you ever tried starving?
I have. Unfortunately, meat just made me weaker, and then my friend turned opponent tried to kill me in a weakened state. He did not succeed. Please, sit with tea. And he kind of extends the teacup out to you.
Alright. I sit down and I accept the tea, dwarfing it with my hands.
And it is tiny inside of your hand. It's about the size of a sake cup, and it is filled, and it smells wonderful. And for the first time, you actually notice smelling something rather for the sake of smelling it, rather than smelling it for the tracking purposes of your life. You suddenly realize you don't know if you've ever drank or eaten anything in your life.
Okay, well, since this is a very new experience to me, I will try this tea, as you call it.
And he kind of like nods his head, and he goes to drink the tea with you, and as you drink it, it's kind of like this jasmine tea, but with like this kind of like a flowery, like nearly like pollen-y back to it, and it has a really good kick of sweetness behind that. And so it's actually pretty good. You've never had anything so decidedly like sweet, and something that this is the first thing that you've enjoyed that was beyond your purpose.
Hmm. This is beyond just mere sustenance. Is this what all the food is always like?
I wish all things were as good as tea, my friend. Although, what have you know what? If you'd like, I will leave this meal to you, for this will not weaken me, and it seems that you are in need of the experience.
Need. I don't need anything beyond my purpose.
Said like someone who does not know what real need is. Purpose is given. Purpose is found. Needs are the things taken unwillingly from you, that you require even if you do not wish to require them. Please, try the food.
Grudgingly, I try the various foods in front of me, which are.
Okay, so in front of you, there's some chicken that has been roasted, and it again smells amazing. It's lightly peppered and it's perfectly salted, and it's delicious. It's got like that perfect greasiness to it, and then as you're biting into that, you're surprised by the joy that you have to almost stamp down because it's so unfamiliar feeling to you, and then. Moving on, you find like there's these small biscuits also have honey on the inside. They're kind of made of like a cornmeal. Again, delicious. This is like it's strange to you to experience something that gives you joy beyond your purpose twice so soon, one after another, and it starts to kind of kick in a little bit of strangeness in the back of your head. And then as you're there's not much more than that, unfortunately, since they don't give you a whole lot of food. And as you're finishing the biscuit, and unwillingly, you kind of like close your eyes and that was damn good feeling. And then all of a sudden, there's this small pop, and then and you see this halfling just suddenly appear, looking around, very confused. He's like, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I don't know exactly what this confounded thing has done this time." And you see he's looking down at his hand, and he's holding a rod. You recognize it instantly as a magical rod. You're not sure how, but you do recognize it. It seems to have a file at the top that is filled with this glowing blue energy and a cork on top of it. And then you see very smaller, bluer buttons down the side of it. And he's like, "Well, so where has this thing brought me this time? And who are you, might I ask? You large person, you appear to be in charge, being larger and stronger than most people in some of the chaos that I have been brought to. That is what I've found to be the leaders. Where am I? Who are you?"
You have joined us in our prison that I have only just myself arrived at. What is it you have there? How did you get here? And how are you going to leave?
Leaving is a very good question. Unfortunately, as far as getting here, I was merely trying to cast prestidigitation on myself with this thing. It appeared to me. Some people saved me from somebody wanting it back, and so it is rightfully mine, I guess, now. The drow tried to kill me, but unfortunately she was dispatched along with her summons by some very helpful people. But I got to say, I thought I knew this right. I thought I understood it. You can put magic in and get magic out. And more magic you put in, the more magic comes out. But unfortunately, I must have hit something wrong. It was supposed to be a small cantrip to... Well, look at me. And you see he has mud on top of his coat and everything, and he's like... And then, one moment, he puts the rod into his coat, and then he moves his hands, and you see he instantly cleans. Like, I should have just done that in the first place. I don't know why I trusted this thing. And he pulls it back out. Every time, it just takes me somewhere horrible. But... I do apologize. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Fendrick. Fendrick the Fortunate, some say, but I do not see it, as my luck has been somewhat interesting as of late. And he kind of like smiles, and this you see this like he's super nervous and scared of you.
I am Manx with this other person, Sensei. As this is our prison, you are most welcome here, especially if you bring means of travel. By the way, can I see that real quick?
I would not touch it. It unfortunately is something beyond my understanding and extremely powerful. And unfortunately, the safest side for me to be on it would be the wielding side, as you have such a considerable. And he's looking up and down at your gigantic size. Considerable size and muscle on me. I feel it's the only way I can be properly comfortable around someone such as yourself. And he kind of swallows.
So that is most understandable, but you said it takes power to go in, huh? Well,
yes.
I am possessing of great power. Perhaps we can work together and utilize your toy to leave this place, along with our other individual. I have much to go do and places to go be.
Well, as far as power, I was speaking mainly of the arcane. Do you have access to any spells which I might use to power this confounded thing?
Hang on one second.
Sure.
I want to see. There we go. Spells. In fact, I do. I possess great power, and if you can guide it with your hand waving, then perhaps I can fuel it.
Actually, it's simpler than that. So what I'll do, he kind of pulls it out of his pocket again. You see, he takes a small bracelet that's attached to a chain, and he attaches it to himself. And then you see he kind of rubs his finger over it. You see his eyes glow quickly with a magic as the band locks itself into place. And then he holds the wand out, and he kind of holds it at a distance. He merely cast the spell into the rod itself, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
What spell would you like to cast?
Well, my spells are not exactly safe sounding. We'll just use this little we'll use inflict wounds.
Perfect. And what level would you like to cast it at?
Just at level 1.
Perfect. And as you reach inside of yourself and find the power source given to you, and as your heart beats with the same power granted by the god, you feel it starts in your heart and pulses, and almost like as it's flowing through your blood, it goes out your hand and down your fingers, and then you release it. This small interweaving beam of dark red energy kind of flies out and then hits the rod right into the receptacle. And as you notice, as the energy beam gets closer, the cork on the top of the rod instantly pops off, and it sucks the spell inside of it, and then the cork slams shut again on top. That was... well, let's see what that does. Gentlemen, the magic I'm about to try is kind of limited in area, and I would, if you were to come with me, let's try casting the spell. Then Senserath also walks over, and he's like, if it works, you will have my eternal gratitude. In a place with no time. And he kind of chuckles to himself. Little disturbingly. It's not a good laugh. It's a fuck it, we'll try something laugh. And he's like, okay, so, just for safety's sake, he points the wand directly in front of him. And you see, he starts tracing an incantation in the air. And all of a sudden, and he's like, you see his eyes flare, and then the wand flares, and he's like, oh dear. That's not... And out of the wand explodes out this huge lightning bolt made of of 7 different colors that seem to interweave and fly out in a split second, and they hit the ball in the center of the room, and it explodes. Make a dexterity saving throw. Okay, perfect. Good enough. And so... He makes it. Sarah.
I move faster than it looks like.
Okay, you all made it. And so, as the ball explodes, you all kind of jump back, and as the sudden darkness takes the room, and then all of a sudden you hear this grinding of stones. And you notice the walls, the floor, the ceiling of your prison starts to slowly drift away, and you see the madness of the void start to intrude once again into your cell. quickly. Okay, so that didn't work. Let's try something else. Everybody, grab on. And he's. You gonna? What would you like to do?
I guess hold on tight without killing him.
And as you grab on, you hear a small come out of him. Not enough to hurt him, but just enough. Sensei Wrath lightly grabs his shoulder. He's perfectly calm, once again sitting in a cross-legged position, his hair starting to flow up as gravity seemingly has left this place. As you guys are starting to float into the air, he's like, I'll try something a little simpler than, well, woof. And with that, let's roll the dice to see where you go. 3. Interesting. I've set it up as a modular dungeon, so...
Oh, very cool. Well done.
Which I will explain later. Okay, so with a 3... you find yourself... all of a sudden, you guys reappear at a room the exact same size and dimensions, but around you, you see rivers of acid covered by grates, and in front of you, there seems to be demons all standing around. One with a large eye and four stalks with eyes upon them. And you see he kind of slowly turns around after one stalk snaps over to you. Another, and then the main eye. Well, it seems we have some guests. It's going to be nice to have something more to eat. Go ahead and roll initiative. And I wish I had your lovely initiative button for this, but I do not, because I don't know how to copy it.
Oh, that's okay. I'm assuming I can just do that.
Boy, howdy, can you? Alright, is that then? Fendrick. La 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 la! Alright. I forgot how crazy.
Don't worry, friends. This is a puzzle I understand too well.
Hell yes. Oh man, hold on. The turn order didn't take. Let me go and get the aboleth in here. Not the aboleth. That's not a thing. And
Hang on 1 second.
go ahead and make it. Okay, go ahead.
Turn the lights down so I can be extra nerdy.
Hell yes. And go ahead and make a quick Arcana check for me.
Okay. Arcana. Pretty good.
Yeah. So part of the knowledge that you've been given is about supernatural things which would escape death. Sorry, I have to add these. And so, instantly, looking at it, you know that the demons are known as Otyog. And I'll expose them here for a second. And you know that they too are with your master's wrath. Fendrick got a 8. Sincer's got a 7. Spectator got a 17. Alright, so this isn't good battle music. What was I thinking? Hold on.
It does sound like a sewagely acidic dungeon.
Yeah, it just needs some...
A beat?
Yeah. Is this one? No, this one would be this guy. Oh, darn it. I had something for this.
Bear with me.
Alright, I guess it'll do. Alright, and then so, with that, the spectator is going to go first. And he's the thing that turned and looked at you, and he's like... And he's going to take a quick look at the few of you, and then he's going to fire 2 eye rays. He's going to fire a confusion ray at you. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. Yeah, you good. And then he's going to fire a fear ray at Sensei Wrath. Just another wisdom saving throw. Ooh, he doesn't make it. And you see Sensei Wrath for the first time. You see he was still sitting floating in the air, and as the beam hits him, you see him look around like what? And then all of a sudden his feet hit the floor. Gravity once again takes him. As you see a look of fear on his face for the first time since meeting him. And then he's going to kind of move. He's going to float over here over the acid, and then keep his main eye on you. And that'll bring us to the Otyugh. I hope I'm saying that right. And so these behemoths seemingly eyeless, with tentacles coming out of their backs, but they're the size of like a hippopotamus, with the whole head instead of opening up into rows of sharp, vigorous, ravenous teeth that are a good, foot long. As the Otyugh runs up to you and kind of crosses this bridge here. And it is going to attack you with its multi-attack. So it's going to do 1 bite. I'm guessing your AC is better than 10.
Yeah.
And then 2 tentacles. What's your AC?
16.
Second one finally hits. And you'll have to make a DC 13 strength check.
Strength? Huh?
And as it wraps its giant tickle around, you're like... The joy of battle once again overtakes you as you burst through it. Yeah, you're laughing your ass off as the other one runs in and is going to attack you as well, because you're the front. Bite attack. Doesn't do anything. Tentacle. Okay.
Same thing?
Yep. And this time, this one grabs you and then slams you into a solid surface. It slams you into the ground. Make a Constitution saving throw. Okay, so you take 10 damage, and you're stunned until its next turn. Grappled, stunned, it's slammed around. And then it's your turn. Go ahead and make your make another Constitution saving throw. And you shake it off, and are no longer stunned. But it takes your turn to do that. Fendrick, he's kind of looking around, very, very weirded out. He's like, "How come every time I cast something, it just keeps getting worse? Let's do." And he kind of is looking around. He's like, "You over the acid? Why don't you just fucking go to sleep?" And he casts 23. Oh, and he cast sleep, and it actually worked. Okay, so in order for something to go to sleep, you have to get as many health points as that thing has. So he cast it and he got 39 points, which is exactly how many hit points the spectator has. And so you see the spectator, I don't feel very much like, all of its eyes start to flutter, and kind of this weird cascading effect where like they're not all at once, but like, and then it just starts to drift slowly to the floor. Oh, does he get a saving throw? Oh, no, he doesn't. That's sleep. And then as he hits the acid, you just hear, and like you see the acid starting to eating away as its eyes flash open as it takes 3d6 of damage. Ooh, 12 damage. And as it starts to scream as the acid takes it, that'll bring us to Sensei Wrath, who is going to calmly look at the situation. Just try to shake off his fear. Which is another wisdom saving throw for him. Sensei Wrath, wisdom saving throw. Does not make it. And so as he goes to step forward, you see he looks down at the spectator who's riling in acid and takes a step back. And he's going to use his quarterstaff to strike the Otyugh holding you. Oh yeah, that definitely hits. And so he does 8 bludgeoning damage. He's going to attack it again. That one is going to be a little trickier. Ooh, just barely misses. And then he is going to spend a key point. I forget what his key points do because I didn't have D&D Beyond. Note to all online dungeon masters. D&D Beyond is fan-fantastic. For you, your players, and everything else. Okay, and so he's going to... He's just going to do a flurry of blows and make 2 unarmed attacks. Oh, no, sorry, he has a special feat. No, he doesn't. I'm an idiot. I'm okay. Where is his unarmed attack? Okay, so his unarmed attacks... I'm sorry, it'll be +5 to hit, so just roll a d20. Yeah, that doesn't hit. First one doesn't hit, second one also doesn't hit. Wow. Well, that's quite interesting. And so you see he strikes it once, which is enough to cause it to do a saving throw to see if it will hold you still. Let's see. Let's do a concentration check, so it'll be Constitution. And it completely forgets about you as it tries to focus its attention on this new opponent. It's seemingly bestial in nature. You feel it loosen on you as it starts forward towards this other thing. Bring us to the spectator's turn. He is going to be taking acid damage because he's in acid. What was supposed to be smart for him? He takes double crits on damage. So he takes another 14 damage as he floats up out of the goo below him. He's like, ah! You, my pets, kill them. I will eat the little one myself. And he's going to fire a paralyzing ray at Fendrick, who's looking very shocked all of a sudden. No, it's Constitution. But he gets... And he's going to be like, oh, that's not quite the way I remember things. And you see something strange. As you could have sworn the beam hit him and he was frozen in place, but all of a sudden the beam missed, and he's like, well, that's very strange, don't you think? And he looks at you with this very knowing look, but also kind of unsettling with what just happened. And then you see the spectator kind of float backwards, then float forward again. Very well. And he's going to fire his wounding ray. And this one is like this sickly greenish yellow fires out, and it's a Constitution. Ooh, and he takes 3d10 necrotic damage. Holy shit! And so you see
I also have I give +2 to everyone around me as far as saving throws too.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's still...
Sorry, I was trying to read it while you're working on it, so I...
Oh, that's okay. Actually, with that much damage, he's going to spend a point luck point to get a saving throw.
+2.
And this time he makes it with that +2. So, and then you see, you're staring at him, and 2 things that definitely should have done something, you know for a fact. And he just seems to... They just almost like they didn't happen, and he's just looking at you like... And he kind of shrugs a little bit as it brings us to the Otyugh. The Otyugh are gonna go. The one to the bottom is gonna go past you, and they're gonna try to attack Sensei Wrath, since he's the one who smacked it.
Do I get opportunity for him doing that?
Oh yes. Yeah, go and roll an opportunity attack.
Is that just a normal attack, or is that something special?
Straight attack.
All right. Well, this one is gonna hurt. Maybe not.
And then, oh shit! I forgot I gave you that awesome weapon. Okay, so that misses, and then so it's gonna go up and then try to.
What's
bite.
the +7 do? Does that add to my roll at all?
Yeah, that's it. So it's already added up. So if you hover over it, you'll
Okay.
get it adds into those. Yeah. So, because you get +4 for your proficiency modifier and +3 for your strength modifier, or vice versa. I can't remember what your strength's at. And so you get a +7 to hit.
I don't see it in the roll, but I will assume it's there.
If you highlight it, you'll see it'll be 20 +4 STR +3 PROF equals,
Yep.
and then that's how it gets the numbers.
Oh, it's 6 + 4 + 3.
Yeah, exactly. And the other one was
Okay.
yeah. So.
So I rolled really badly, and a lot of stuff brought me back.
Exactly. All right, and then so he's gonna strike out, and that's gonna hit with the bite. It's a Constitution saving throw. He's fine. All right, and then any damage besides that? Nope. Okay, good. And then it's gonna try to smack him around with the tentacles. All right, and then so it'll be DC 13
+2
check. Oh, yeah, and he is DC 11. So strength. Well, actually, he made his strength save easily, and again. So you see, this time since Serath, the thing goes to attack him, and the bite, he just like steps out of the way, not even moving his arms, and then a tentacle comes in, and he just bats it out of the way. And another one, he grabs, holds it for a second, and then kind of throws it back, as the other Otyugh is gonna try to make some attacks. You see, it's kind of stuck on a peninsula, trying to get around you, and this light thing in front of it. It's gonna go ahead and try to do a bite attack against you. You said your is AC 16?
Yep.
Okay, and then so, and then he's gonna try a tentacle attack. DC. Okay, so 16 that hits. Make a strength saving throw. Yeah, you
So
good.
26.
And then one more. Okay, so this attack also hits. And you're good again. And so you, watching him do this, like, it's really funny. Like watching Sensei Wrath, part of your strange magical brain starts to absorb a little bit of what he's doing. And as you turn to the Otyugh in front of you, you're like, I understand. And you just kind of do a very similar movement, knowing that you're feeling this flow of your god through you, and you're not sure how or why, but it seems easier to learn things than you were expecting. And that'll bring us to your turn.
All right, so I will attack the one to the side of me. I can actually, if I don't move, I can attack twice. I get +2 to my melee damage rolls for Aura of Haste. And I thought there was one more here. And reroll 1s or 2s with a melee weapon with 2 hands.
Yep, that's. I know. Are you going to use Great Weapon Master for your attacks?
Let me reread this here real quick.
So Great Weapon Master, you'll take a -5 to hit, but get 10 damage. And since you get +2, it'll only be a -3 to hit.
It says when you score a critical hit or reduce a creature to 0, you can make an extra.
That's correct. Yeah, that's another
bonus
one
action.
of the.
Okay, so yeah, it doesn't.
If you go to the feat itself, Great Weapon Master, on your turn. Hold on, there's.
Yeah, it's a bonus attack if I get a crit or kill something.
No, there should be. Oh, that's for your action. Hold on. I know Great Weapon Master very well. So, yeah, before you make a melee attack with a heavy weapon that you're proficient with, you can choose to take a -5 to the attack roll. If the attack hits, you add 10 to the attack's damage. If you click on the Great Weapon Master under your feats, that small.
Oh, I see. Okay. In D&D Beyond, they're smashed together as like it was one paragraph.
It's okay. The stream just saw as I pulled it up for you.
Oh, yes. No worry. I will actually not do that because I have 2 attacks. I will just simply roll twice against this guy.
Perfect.
So first attack, dragging my oiled but rusty giant scythe.
That hits. Go and roll the damage for it. Ooh, 12 slashing. And
I believe that is +2 as well.
All right, so perfect. So 14 slashing damage as you tear into the beast, and you just.
Ooh, is that a crit as well? It's not a natural.
No, it would have to be a natural 20. So it's basically when you roll a 20 on the dice, you rolled a 13 on the dice.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you can take it off of Direct Whisper if you want to, because we're the only ones in this game.
Oh.
If you look at the top of your sheet, there should be a Whisper.
Public. There we go. I didn't know it. I thought it was selected the other way around. All right, anyway, so now here is the second attack.
And you don't want a great... Okay, perfect. Yeah, yeah, that hits. All right, go ahead and roll the damage on it.
18. Darn.
Ooh, so close. 13 damage. Okay. And
+2.
+2, so 15 more damage coming out. And did you want to add like a smite or anything to that, or?
Can I?
As a bonus action, you actually can use your smites. So if you look at
smite.
Yeah. So your bonus action. Oh, do you have smites as a? I don't even know if you have smites as a anti-paladin.
I was like smite, like Warhammer.
Oh yes, yeah, actually. Okay, so do you know? Okay, so in D&D Beyond, I see. I forgot. You need to prepare your spells. So if you go to prepare your spells, you'll see that there's a bunch of spells that you have access to.
All right, hang on. I'm in my spells section.
Yeah.
Manage spells.
Yep, go to manage spells, and you'll see there's 28 known spells, and you can have 6 prepared.
Oh,
So if you want to, and then
prepared spells, known spells, filter by, and those are. Oh, I see.
So you know all of your spells at the beginning of each day. You prepare different ones.
Oh, okay. So we didn't go over that, so I can go and pick. So I have some of them. I had like 4 prepared.
Yeah,
I have
those
Hellish
are...
Rebuke, Inflict Wounds, Crown of Madness, and Darkness.
Yep, those are always prepared for you.
Okay, so let me. I guess I'll take a look at this real quick.
Perfect. And then any of the smites.
Searing Smite.
Yep.
All right, I will prepare a searing smite.
Smearing smite. The smearing smite.
Touch a non-magical weapon. No, I don't care about that. You actually might be good if you just told me a couple to do, since there's a lot of them to read.
I am your god. I shall choose your spells.
Yes.
All right. So we'll do branding smite, lesser restoration.
I have searing smite, I think.
Oh, searing smite. Okay, perfect.
Branding smite. Okay, I got the other one paired. I've got both of them now.
So I'll do wrathful smite, since that's very, very wrathful. Let's do compelled duel.
Wrathful
Seems
smite?
like something like you would have. Command.
Compel duel. Attempt to compel a creature to the duel with some saving throw. Drawn to you. Disadvantage. That's a good one. I like that. Prepare.
And we'll do shield of faith.
Shield of Faith.
Oh, I realize I only prepared 1 second, or no, only it looks like only 1 second level spell, but you have. So let me actually switch those around a little bit, because let's take
I have a couple that are prepared. I took Branding Smite, which is a level 2.
Branding smite. Okay, perfect. So.
And what's
so
Lesser
I'll go
Restoration?
and switch out. We'll take out command for that branding smite. So you'll have lesser restoration for 2nd level, branding smite, wrathful smite, shield of faith, searing smite, and compelled duel.
Okay.
Those seems like the ones that your god would have given you prepared to do the mission.
So compelled duel, hellish rebuke, inflict wounds, searing smite, shield of faith, wrathful smite, branding smite, crown of madness, darkness, hellish rebuke, inflict wounds, searing smite.
Beautiful. All right, and then, so any of this. So now, if you go to actions, bonus action, you'll see that you have the smites and compelled duel and shield of faith all available to you as a bonus action.
Oh, I see. All right. Well, then I will do. Actually, you know what? Let's just do branding smite.
Perfect. And branding smite. Let's take a look at that.
It's 2d6 damage.
Extra 2d6, and then perfect. So. Go ahead and roll 2d6.
It's just 2d6 straight out?
Yep. It's 2d6 straight
it's roll.
Perfect. So.
All right, 6.
Perfectly average. All right, and then so as you hit it with the, as this time as your rusted old scythe like digs into the side and into the belly of the creature, your eyes flare with the same death energy that you feel with the dark red and blackness and behind them as it flows through you. Again, that pulse through your blood and down your scythe, and your scythe is starting to feel more and more of a part of you, an extension of your being, as that necrotic energy dives into the Otyugh, and you see the flesh around it kind of start to burn away from your scythe, and the whole creature starts to glow a little bit, looking, and then it lets out this kind of like this, and you can feel its terror. This will bring us to Fendrick.
Excellent.
Fendrick, that's quite a scary thing you're able to do. You know what? I think you should do more of it. And he's going to cast haste on you.
Nice.
And then as a bonus action, he's going to use...
Oh my god, I can have 3 attacks my next turn?
Yeah. And as a bonus action, he's going to cast Eldritch Blast, because he's a very strange type of wizard. And he's going to attack the spectator flying away out over there. So, let's see. Range spell attack. So his spell modifier is 7, so 20 plus 7. Yeah, that hits. And then, so it's going to be 1d10 force damage. He is the luckiest fucking motherfucker.
Well done, midget!
You yourself, keep doing well. I'm gonna... And he's gonna run over to this other little island and kind of like try to hide behind this burning thing that's in front of him. Keep kicking ass! And then that'll bring us to Sensei Wrath, and he's going to attack the same one that you just attacked. He's like, together, maybe I can defeat more than friends. And you see he kind of like looks contemplative, and then he runs back here, and then he charges forward, running along the wall, on the curve of the wall, and he's going to run all the way to the side of it, and he's going to, about there, still running on the wall, and attack into it using his charger feat. It gives him +5 to his attack roll. So he's going to get a +10. He rolled a fucking 2. And you see as he like, and then he jumps off the wall. He does like this flying kick into the side of the Otugan, and it just, and he kind of like collapses forward onto the top of it. And he looks around a little confused, not entirely to plan. And then he's going to attack with or he's going to do a flurry of blows, spending a key point. God. Nope. And they see him looking like kind of very disturbed at these turn of events. Oh, and then he makes his wisdom saving throw at the end of his turn. He's so cool, but so lame. All right. Okay, and he's no longer afraid of the spectator. Oh my god, that hurt. All right, that'll bring us to the spectator's turn. He's like, and you see he's looking like really messed up after the Eldritch Blast hit him, and you see like 2 of his stalks are like limp down, and they look like maybe the bones inside of them are broken, and his eye is getting all bloodshot, and he's there may be no escape for me, but there shouldn't be one for you either. And he's going to use his movement to float over to you, and he is going to try to bite you. Hey, he actually hits. And you take 1d6 minus 1 piercing damage, because he's a little guy. You take 5 piercing damage as he floats over to you and bites into you with his huge teeth, and you're taken aback by this thing just floating so suddenly, and you don't have time to block as he bites into you. And then, staring direct as he's bitten into you, one of his eye stalks floats up in front of your face, and he's going to cast...
Can I do a reaction at any point?
Yes, you can react to the bite.
I'm going to react with Hellish Rebuke.
Hit it.
Anytime I'm damaged, and basically I raise my hands and point and call up dire hellish flames against a dexterity throw, or takes 2d10 fire damage and half damage on a successful save.
4 is not a successful save, so roll the damage.
When you cast a spell using a spell slot, I didn't say spell slot, what is it prepared? It's actually prepared as level 2, so it's actually an additional 1d10, so it's 3d10 damage.
I think that's one you can... so it's actually... so if it's prepared at every level, so you can choose to cast it at first or second level.
I will cast it at second level.
Perfect. Roll that beautiful damage.
Yes.
And as it's butting into you, the eye stalk comes in front of your face, and you kind of lean forward to it, and then you utter this you kind of just, this hateful fire bursts from your eyes, and you see out of the sides, it burns out and kind of follows the shape of your horns, focusing into this single beam of fire, and it almost gathers into this fireball, and then fires away. The spectator releases its grip and kind of is pedaling backwards as the fireball hits it directly into the eye, shooting it backwards as it explodes into a beam of this hellish fire. Brimstone catches your nose as the burned out husk lands to the ground. He did. And that'll bring
Thus
us...
die all traitors to the true entropy.
And the Otyug are both going to make a saving throw with the loss of their master. Okay, they both make it. But they do suffer, because they are in a very strange place and not able really to do much with it. So
I'm glad that worked out, because I figured the way that you'd built these creatures that he was providing some kind of passive benefit to them. I was actually going to use that compel to pull the beholder to me.
Perfect. So, neither of them made the saving throw to get their turn, so they lose a turn as they're kind of screaming, flailing around, and you see their very essence and being start to disintegrate as bits of them are just seemingly evaporating into the air. Skin and huge chunks of them. You have a feeling that this plane is not for those without a purpose, as it is your turn, and you have haste, so you get 3 attacks.
3 attacks. All right. Well, the first attack I will direct against the ping nearest
Beautiful.
blind asshole.
Blassel.
Oh.
Okay.
That's not good.
Actually, he's technically being flanked by Sensei Wrath, so I'll give you advantage. So that would be a 26, a 19 natural. So go ahead and roll the damage. So,
+2.
So 14 damage. And your next attack. Do you want to do a
I
Great
will
Weapon
follow up.
Master? Since you have advantage on the strike because of Sensei Wrath.
Sure. So it's a -5 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And with the advantage,
Oh,
you got
20.
a 20, and you definitely hit. So roll the damage.
16.
26 damage. Jesus wept. And then your last strike, what would you like to do with it?
I actually think I might whip it around to the other one behind me and spread the love.
Perfect.
Or the death.
That hits.
Or 12.
Alright, and then
And then do I still get my bonus action?
Yes.
Good
Haste
grief.
is real good.
Let's see. Oh, I gotta find one that's a bonus action tonight.
And smites you can only pump into the thing that you hit before you smite.
Sorry, I'm just looking for a bonus action.
Perfect.
I think I will cast Branding Smite,
Perfect.
which will be for my next turn. It basically empowers my weapon for my next strike, so I'm setting myself up for my next turn.
Perfect. And then and as you pull the scythe out, it starts to kind of ignite in this black at the base and going to a red at the top fire that seems to take up your entire scythe. And that'll bring us to Fendrick, and he's like, I knew, it was that was a good, yes, nice job. And he's going to cast Acid Arrow. He's gonna miss. He's like, oh, well, can't win them all! And he's gonna keep hiding in the back. That'll bring us to Sensei Wrath, who is getting frustrated at this point, his fear wearing off. And he's going to look down at the creature in front of him. He's like, well, time for you to die. And he's going to attack with his staff, and he's going to... So let's see if he hits. Just... Oh my god. He's a +9 to hit. 9! He rolled a damn 2. And you see his frustration and confusion. And he kind of looks at you very concerned. He's like, I may have been in that cell for far too long. And you see this look of actual fear on his face as he tries to make another attack. And it goes even worse as you see him, and he kind of slides off the back of the beast. And you see him just standing there, his arms at his side and no longer in a defensive stance, and he's just kind of looking around at it like, what the fuck? And that'll bring us back to the Otyugh. This really wounded one at the bottom is going to attack you. He's going to reach out with a bite. Totally fuck it up. And then a tentacle. Okay, this one actually hits. Go ahead and make a DC 13 strength saving throw. Yeah, no, yep. He's going to try to grab Sensei Wrath, who is also going to dodge out of the way. And that'll bring us back to you, Minx, who is hasted and a Searing Smite loaded up, or a Branding Smite loaded up.
Yes, so an additional 2d6 damage on my strikes. I'm also going to cast Shield of Faith on Sincerath because I am quite concerned that he's drunk.
Perfect. And so as Shield of Faith, that's a bonus action, correct?
It is a bonus action, so I'll use it ahead of time. And
Okay.
it's +2 to his AC for its turn, which is 10 minutes.
Perfect. And then go ahead and who would you like to attack first? And are you using Great Weapon Master?
I will go ahead and use Great Weapon Master. I've had pretty good luck so far, and I will
Perfect.
smash the northernmost guy
Excellent.
and
Misses.
miss completely.
Okay, and so as you swipe out at it, turning your attention away from Manx, you make the swipe, and the Otyugh like crouches down, almost hitting flat to the floor, kind of like cat, like the tentacles coming up and kind of wavering at you.
Drawing myself up and actually aiming this time, I will use my Grey Weapon a little bit more modestly
That'll
and
hit.
get him.
Okay, and then go ahead and roll the damage.
16.
Plus the and then roll the 2d6.
Oh, that's right. Roll 2d6. Yes, good. 25.
9 damage. Damn. And as you hit it, you feel the pulse as the energy dissipates into the flesh of the creature, and as you pull the scythe down, as it comes down, you hit it like right in the back, right behind the head, and pull your scythe back out, ready for your next strike. The black ichor of the demon flying everywhere.
Am I still hasted?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah. Great Weapon Strike, same guy.
Hit it. That hits with the Great Weapon Master.
+2, +5, right? Plus 2d6.
So does the Branding Smite for all your attacks this turn? Or for the first
let me
attack?
look real quick.
So you've already hit it, so without it, you're looking at 24 damage.
It's only a 1 minute duration, so
Okay, let me take a look. So Branding,
it probably hasn't.
Branding Smite. The next time you hit a creature.
Oh, okay. So I think I'm sitting at 14, 19 damage for the Great Weapon.
No, you get plus 10 to the damage.
Oh, really?
24
Wow, so 24. Yes.
Yeah. And both the Otyugh are looking really, really rough, as they're going to have to make another saving throw to maintain their existence, because they are mindless demons in a place that requires will. The northernmost one takes no damage at all, as you see the second one starting to disintegrate a little bit more again. And the other one is just skin is disintegrating. Its skin is almost completely gone. It is just muscle holding bone and tentacles together, flailing around. As black ichor is starting to bleed out over these strange white muscles that seem to have no blood, but black ichor starting to cover them as it screams out in pain. Fendrick coming up next is like, "I'll take care of that one. You get the one that didn't do the thing," and he's going to cast. He's going to cast Magic Missile. Are you kidding me? 2 1s. 2 1s. And he looks a little shocked. He's like, well, then maybe just a little more. And he's going to cast an Eldritch Blast as well. Did your character golf clap?
Yes.
Oh, whoops. Okay, and that hits, and then so that'll be 1d10. Okay, perfect.
Hey,
And,
there we go.
And so like you see the magic missile burrow into the creepy disintegrating, flailing about bad 90s, well, really good 90s effects. Think think the thing.
The thing.
Yes. You said it without me saying it first. So it's flailing about as the Eldritch Blast, this white energy with a kind of almost darkness surrounding it, hits it and explodes as the rest of it is engulfed in white flames that disintegrate the Otyugh. That'll bring us to Sensei-Wrath, who is going to run this way and then charge the beast, and he's going to leap over the pit and try to charge attack this one with his plus 10 to fucking hit. I swear to God if he misses. Oh my fucking does he get? And he gets. Fuck. What else?
I'm
did you think
keeping
they
the
did?
little guy, and you can stay here and
What the
practice.
fuck is going on? What was the blessing you gave him? What does it do?
That's +2 to his AC.
That's it. Okay. And as you see him like fly across, since he nat failed his fucking. You see him like hit and then roll across, and now he has to make a dexterity saving throw to see if he can catch himself before he falls into the acid. Barely catches himself. As you see, he like grabs onto the edge and pulls himself up on the other side. That's his whole turn. The Otu is gonna kind of run up to you and make its attacks. You've all of a sudden you almost feel it screaming in your head as it attacks you. To no effect. Your will.
To no effect.
Your will, seemingly, you feel as if it might be overpowering the creature at this point. As he has to make another saving throw as his time out, and he does not make it. Another 16 damage as you see him start to disintegrate. Your turn, Mr. Hasted.
All right. I think what I will do to start out with here. I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds for one of my actions.
Perfect.
At level 2, so it will be 4d10 damage, and it looks like it's... let's see, it had an AC here. What was it? It's +5 to attack?
So the
Yep.
yeah, it's a touch attack. So yeah, that hits pretty good. Go and roll the damage.
Actually, I'm just going to roll it manually since I added the one, so it'll be
Oh
roll
no! So you just
for-
click the inflict wounds you said at second level.
Yeah, so it's only... Okay, yeah.
So at the higher level class you did 20. Jesus, you crit on a lot of these. Okay, so 29, 25, 28 damage. As you reach out, the pulsing energy
should be-
from it. Go ahead.
It should be one more d10.
What, really?
Yeah,
It
it's
did
4d10 for casting it above level 1.
It did 40-10. So the top one is a D10, and then a D10, and then a D10 below that, and a D10 below that. So it was.
Oh, interesting. I'm not seeing the same thing you're seeing.
You're not seeing the
But
6
if that's
plus
what you
3.
get, then
You're not
I
seeing
see
the,
6 plus 3, and I see 20 plus 9.
Yeah. So the 20 plus 9 are the higher levels. So
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, I mean, it's 40-10, and you managed to pull 38 out of it. And as you reach out, the same, all of a sudden you feel behind you, almost these like behind your eyelids, another set of eyes open, and then you just hear, "Excellent, another one of those who escaped me comes home," and the flash, and it flows through you as you reach out, and you just touch gently on the top of its head, and it starts to disintegrate. And instead of screaming in pain, it just kind of stares up at you and disintegrates into nothingness in this place. That was something else. As the two of them start walking back to you. Well, how did you just... I know we were kind of rushed before, but what are you?
As far as I know from my experiences, what I feel, I am a champion of death, and this place has kept too many souls from the domain of my master.
And you don't feel like compelled to, like, return me to your master or anything? Just checking.
Not at the moment.
Cool. All right. Well, should we try this one more time?
All right. Well, then I will. I will power up his ability.
And he holds it out. The wand. What do you want to cast into it? At what level?
We'll just do afflict wounds again. We'll do it at its. We'll do it at its advanced level again, just to make sure we've got lots of stuff.
And then you see the cork again pop off, and it flares. It's deep sapphire blue, and he kind of reaches out, and he reaches out his hand to Sensei Wrath, and then he kind of like steps closer to you and kind of like taps his shoulder for you to hold on.
This time I gently reach out and grab hold of the scruff of his neck.
And with that, he casts again. Okay. And so with that, you disappear. Everything, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in, again, a very similar room. But this time, there's a staircase that goes upwards. And in front of you, you see 3 skeletons. One small, one medium, one very large with horns and armor. This is
I think,
new.
yes, I think I will do a little bit of Arcana investigation around.
Perfect. And as you try to feel, you just feel everything above your head as you look up. It just seems to shimmer as though there were as there were billions of stars above you, all tiny and magical. As you get the sense for magic, and while you're looking at it, it's almost blinding, and it seems to be right over your head. And then as the spell wears off, your extrasensory third eye almost closes, and you look it up and it's regular air again. There seems to be nothing but magic stuffed into this room.
Well, I would say obviously these corpses here are supposed representations of us. I would hate to think that we've done this before and failed.
That can't be me. It's much too big. I'm much smaller than that. Not comfortable with this idea. And you see him kind of like staring, just you see he's like actively gone over and he's like crouched over the body, staring at it, looking at it. He looks very, very confused. Sensei Reth has also gone over to the normal sized one. He looks down at it and he's like, well, it appears to be me, but it appears we were here for a very long time. And he kind of gestures down, and you see this particular skeleton has hair, but the hair is all the way down to the ankles. And he kind of looks at you knowingly.
So what I'd like to do to advance here is that this cannot be true. My absolute belief in the black and white of mortality says that this is a trick.
So what do you want to do?
Up the stairs.
Up the stairs?
Up the stairs.
Okay. All right. And then so the 3 of you start to ascend the stairs, and you notice to your right, Fendrick, his hair just slowly starts to pepper at his temples and at the top of his head. And you see Sensei Wrath, his hair going from a kind of a darker gray to a white, and his beard and hair start to grow. And as you get a quarter of a way up this staircase, you see Fendrick kind of like starts to rub his hands. This is starting to... and he looks up at you and he's like, yeah, you look different. And Sensei Wrath is starting to hunch a little bit.
Stop. Let's go back down and observe.
Very well. And as you go down, they stay exactly the same. Well, Sensei Wrath, your hair is getting... your hair is... What is wrong with my voice? Oh no. Manx, did I do what he did?
Yeah, you definitely look like you've aged walking up those stairs.
Sensei Wrath. You see Sensei Wrath look, his eyes widen a little bit, and you see him grab his hair and measure it out. And you see, we've aged nearly 70 years in that time.
Can I just do a perception check? I'd like to see what the other shapes in the room are.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Looking up, you see that it's just a circular staircase. At the top, you see there's, seemingly matching with the top stair, a ledge that comes straight out and ends. But it seems across the way from the stairs.
Across the way from the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's part way up the stairs?
No. So if you were to go all the way up to the stairs, it seems level with the top stair, but across from it.
Oh, okay. So when I looked up, I saw nothing but magic in the top part of this room.
Mm-hmm.
And we've walked up the stairways, and we have gotten older, and it
Mhm.
seems to be sticking with us.
Yes.
Is there only one set of bodies down here?
There's only one set of bodies down there.
No, I'm a bit of a loss. I'm not sure what my options are as far as the D&D world right now.
This is like I said, less D&D, more of what you can think to do. This is just genuinely a puzzle room.
Can we climb up to the ledge that's up there without going up the stairs?
The ledge seems to be parallel with the very top stairs, so it wouldn't be a way for you to climb up to it where you're at.
Okay. And there's no stairs down.
Mm-mm.
And you said that we're... I want to take a look at my body again. Let's take a look
Okay.
at the corpse that is supposedly representing me.
Make an investigation check.
Investigation.
Okay, and you're looking at it, you know it's definitely a minotaur. It has horns, and it's about the right size.
Is it armed or armored?
It's armored, but not armed. You notice that any magical weapons or magical things seem not to be there.
I don't know.
What would you like to try?
Let's just keep walking up to the very top.
Yeah, okay. That's I guess after you. He kind of gestures, not knowing what to do. You guys start making your way up the stairs, and you notice they're not aging until you hit the same point where you were previously. And getting about halfway up, Sensei Wrath is fully hunched and very wrinkled through his face. Fendrick is also his pointed ears are starting to droop just the tiniest bit. He's grown a beard at this point, which is also kind of like a salt and pepper. His hair's gone completely salt and pepper. No more of the brown of youth remaining. It's starting to feel a little strange than it did. And you feel yourself a pain in your knees and in your hands.
Oh, press on.
And you guys keep walking, and as you're 3/4 of the way in the stairs, Sensei Wrath's hair is getting to the point where it's down around his knees, and you see his pale green skin is kind of bleached out a little bit with many, many spots upon it. Fendrick has gone bald. His beard still remained, but now a white and coming down to a point, and it's grown to the point where it's down to around his belt as you guys continue forward.
So if I look down at my scythe, it has not changed.
Your scythe has not changed. 3/4 of the way stairs, you feel your own. You look down and you notice your own hair has grown considerably. Your mane around you has gotten to the point where it's now drooping over your shoulders and is about breast high, and your beard has grown to the point where you kind of feeling it for the first time. It's long enough you can hold it in two hands.
Okay. As an experiment, I am going to reach out and I'm going to cast Lay of Hands and on Fendrick.
Okay, how many points of Lay of Hands would you like to use?
All of them?
All of it? Perfect.
Let's see, I have to read the thing here real quick. And heal wounds, blah, 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 blah. Equal to power level times 5. It's a touch.
So basically, you got to decide how much of your pool of Lay on Hands you'd like to use.
Let me look here at that. Lay on Hands pool. So I will use HP, restore any number of HP remaining in the pool, or 5 HP to cure a disease. Let's give him 20.
20, okay. And as you touch, you kind of reach down and touch Fendrick's bald head, his old, kind of now sunken-in eyes look up at you. You notice for the first time his eyes are kind of this light piercing blue. The age of his face seems to make it lighter and pierce a little more. You feel the energy. This one's a warm energy as opposed to the kind of darker, colder, or fiery, raging energies that normally come from you. As you reach out, you feel the spell, you feel the healing go into him, and you see him, he just looks up at you and he blinks twice. He's like, and nothing seems to have happened.
Was that? Was that you, Max? Did you magic me?
um. Well, that experiment failed. Let's keep going.
Perfect. And as you make your way to the very top stair, looking around, you see that there is no door at the top of the stairs. You look across the way and see that the ledge sticking out has the door on that side. It is a considerable gap. It's 25 feet to jump. Your own, you see your compatriots now reduced to withered, older versions of themselves, both of them losing considerable amount of height in the process. Poor Fendrick is now down to about 2.5 feet tall. He's been so kind of withered. His beard now reaching down to the ground, and Sensei Wrath's hair is reaching down near his ankles.
I'm going to go down and inspect the ledge and reach out with my hand in the space between the stair and the bridge, and I will do an Arcana.
Perfect. I go and roll an Arcana check. And as you reach down, you try to swipe through the air, you feel nothing there. It is just space, and you, again, look and you feel the magic, but it just encompasses everything, and it doesn't seem to be focused on any one point. And as you reach out, you feel this kind of overwhelming pain in your joints, as if just moving them hurts. And as you look across the way, it's in focus, but then it's out of focus, and you have to kind of like squint to see it. And looking down, you look at your hair that is now around your shoulders, and it is also turned grayish white. And you feel also now you can hear your pulse for the first time ever. You just and you're feeling pain in most of your joints.
So magic doesn't work, and there's no other door, no other exit. There's no way to get across via physical means. Magic doesn't seem to have any noticeable effect on it, or each other.
This one's a cruel room, I will say.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, logically the next step would be to follow our corpses off the edge.
You're not serious, are you? Jumping? I can't even jump at all. Would you try throwing me?
Definitely. I will gently drop you down the stairwell edge.
No. Throw me to the door.
I am old and withered. I don't have any strength left to do anything like that.
Very well, shall we together then?
And he kind of reaches his old, sad little hand up towards yours.
I take his hand and that of Sensei Wrath and use my weight instead of my physical strength to just pull them off the edge.
Sensei Wrath, but as you reach out to his hand, he kind of nods to you. And you see this kind of understanding in his eyes as he closes them and lets himself be pulled forward. Fendrick is the only one who screams as the three of you plummet. He says, like, "Oh my God!" And then you hit the floor. The eyes behind your eyes open. Not yet. Not here. Wait, where are you? And then you flash. You're walking into the same room. There are now 2 sets of skeletons. 6 skeletons total on the floor. What the hell? Fendrick is completely the same as you were when you entered the room, said Serath, also looking around a little confused but trying to hide his confusion. I could have sworn! Didn't we just... Were you there? Did we just... I just died! Did you just die? I could have sworn I died! And he's looking really freaked out.
How high is the stairway on the 3/4 side from me?
This one?
Yes.
So the stairs altogether are about 4 stories tall, so it's about 3 stories tall.
Okay. What if I just send them up and I stay here?
You can try talking to him. You don't have to tell me. You can RP with him.
Oh, okay. Well, seeing as though we have no fear of death in this accursed room, Fendrick.
Yeah.
Do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
Go up to the top of the stairs, and we'll wait here for you.
It was so horrible the first time. Do I have to? Very well, in the
You
name
know
of,
that it won't last forever.
in the name of discovery, my one true love. Real quick though, would you mind? Hold on. And he kind of reaches in his bag and he pulls out a book, and you see it's just this kind of heavy tome, and you see him start to scribble into the back of pages of it. And he closes it, and he puts it back in his backpack. If I don't come back through that door, take this book with you. It's important.
Okay.
And he starts up the stairs, and you see him. It's super strange to watch, as with every single step, he grows older and older and older and older and older, until he finally reaches the top, and looking up at him, he kind of looks over the edge and is like, hello, friends. You know what? If being old is this bad, jumping doesn't seem like such a big deal. I think I can make it this time. And you hear these small slaps of footsteps as you hear him trying to run, but his footsteps aren't even close to being able to run, as he falls and he lands. And when he lands, as he falls through the air, you see his body turn to a skeleton, and he lands. There are now 3 small skeletons on the floor.
Did you feel any different that time?
Oh, he's a skeleton on the floor in front of you.
Well, he doesn't come back? Oh, interesting.
All right, so was I the only one expecting him to come through the door?
I was expecting him to return as well. It seems as though the 3 of us entered this room together. Perhaps only the 3 of us can leave it.
Well, shall we then?
Let's go. Up the stairs.
He kind of nods, and as you're walking up the stairs next to him, he's like, he kind of is talking to you as he grows older, which is kind of a strange conversation to have with somebody as they are aging before your eyes. And he's like, you know, there are many things in this world that I wanted to do, many things that I wanted to be, but all of them were selfish things that I wanted for myself. Now being freed from something and having an eternal gratitude for those who brought me out of it, my one wish is to see you and our little friend out of this place. I know there are not many. I've had many companions and many friends turned enemy, and I'm glad that you were not one to take that turn, Max. And as you guys reach the top of the stairs one more time, he looks out, nods to you, and reaches out a hand.
And I take his hand gently, and once again we lean over.
And once more, you feel the eyes behind your eyes. Manx, I see. And then all of a sudden you, again, Fendrick, did you get my book? As you guys appear in the room. What's the book there? Did you grab the book? Did you have time? It's only been seconds.
No, it's been quite a while since we saw you jump.
It's been merely seconds for me. That's very strange. But did you remember my book?
No, I didn't. Sorry, I got the impression that the skeleton was all that was left.
It was. But he doesn't
okay.
know that.
There was nothing there. All the magic items, all of the things that, you know, we carry with us are gone.
Very, very weird, very strange.
But you see there are now 3 sets of skeletons there, kind of starting to pile up.
Assuming from this room, I take it that we can't just try and use his wand again.
This room, do you want to try it?
Let's try it.
Okay, it's well, you know, it worked before. Everybody could assume the positions, and he kind of like focuses on his wand, makes the incantations, and then whoop, you guys find yourself suddenly appearing at the top of the chamber, old, and then falling, and then again walking through the door. Well, that certainly makes it go faster. 4 skeletons.
I read a book one time that has a weird way of solving problems like this. I'm going to walk halfway up the stairs.
Okay. You feel yourself age
and then at the halfway point, I walk backwards down the stairs.
You stay just as aged as you were halfway up the stairs.
Okay, this time, since it seems to require me somehow, I will walk all the way up to the top, and you two stay here.
Okay, good luck. And as you walk up, same aging process, same everything. And then you make your final step falling from it. And then you awaken in the room, and half a second later you hear from behind you, "Ha! That took long enough! Good God!" Sensei Wrath also standing there looking confused. So, sorry to keep you waiting, but we weren't sure what to do after you fell.
How long has it been?
Sensei Wrath looks at you, he's like, "It was nearly a year for us. We tried many different things. And many different spells." Wait a minute. And Sensei kind of looks into his spell book and he's like, Interesting. All of the spells I used are back. As if I'd never used them. And he closes the book to the poof. You guys see the skeletons starting really to pile up at this point.
I'm at a loss. Do you guys have any ideas as to what we should do now?
Well, I mean, this is kind of strange, but there does seem to be only one thing that changes in this room. And he kind of gestures to the amount of skeletons.
Oh, your suggestion is that we keep doing this until they're high enough that we can just ascend to the top level without having to go the stairs?
He kind of shrugs.
Well then, in order to stop the dilation of time when we go by ourselves, we'll have to do this quite a bit. But in fact, let's just use your wand.
Oh,
we can do it over and over and over and over.
Well, strap in. And then you guys reach out. Poof. Again, falling, doom, eyes, falling, doom, eyes, falling, doom, eyes, falling, doom, eyes, falling, doom, eyes. More times than you can count. And then eventually, as you appear at the top, instead of falling, you land on a pile of bones comprised of only the three of you. And you look across and see that you have built a large enough pile that you can walk to the door across the room. Still old, but you can walk.
I take a tentative step onto the newly available bridge.
It seems to hold.
All right. Is there... let's go. Through the door.
Yes, through the door to victory.
A small old Fendrix. And Seraph, he's looking... Yes. It has been an honor to, well, live and die with you. And you guys, as you guys step forward across the bridge and find yourself at the door, you can swing it open. And as you do, on the other side, you all of a sudden find yourself... this blinding light hits you, and you find yourself stepping out of one of the small lights in the center of a room, same shape as all of the others. There are two statues that are holding mirrors, which beams of light seem to be shooting out of. One focused on a blurring image impossible to see what it is. The other focused on an elf, seemingly frozen in time with a concerned look on her face, you can judge, looking to draw the blade at her side. Out throughout the room is various clutter and trash. The table's been upturned, everything covered with a thick layer of dust. Everything except for the path of the beams.
Interesting. Is this a chest right here? Or is that a table?
Where? Oh, sorry, that's a chest. It should be here.
Oh, okay. So out of reach, apparently.
Behind whatever the whirling craziness you can't really identify is.
Alright, I'm going to wander over here, and I'm going to make an Arcana check on the figure holding the mirror.
Perfect.
Hmm.
You do know that it does give off a faint magical aura. You know that this is a type of magic. You're unsure the exact nature of it, but you definitely know that the beam is not something that the mirror is reflecting. It is coming from inside of the mirror.
Okay, well, friends, I'm going to attempt to reorient this mirror, and we'll see what happens the first time when I just point it away from this female figure.
Very well. Indeed. And they kind of like go over to you.
Okay,
Where would
and I'm
you
just
like
going
to
to shift
point
it. Just going to shift it over to the right a little bit. I don't want to aim it at anything else. Just move it away from the figure.
Okay, perfect. So,
And keep my hands on it so I can move it back.
perfect. Let's see if I can do this right. No, I can't. Okay. Let's see. So you move it here, basically. This beam is not a cooperative thing. I want everyone to know. Anybody who's using D&D Beyond to DM, Alt is your favorite, most bestest friend. Wait, what is... Did you scribble?
Sorry, that was me.
Get your scribbles out of here! No. And as you move the beam away from the elven woman, she pulls her blade and says, "What? Huh?" And she looks around very confused and sees you moving the statue, and she pulls her blade and holds it out towards you like, "Okay. Very... Who are you? What's happened? Where am I?"
Prisoners. We are prisoners here seeking escape. This is the room we have just recently appeared at. I have moved the mirror blade away from you. What is happening? How long have you been here? What happened when you got here?
For me, it has been a moment, but there was no dust in this room when I was hit with that beam. And she kind of sheathes her sword, looking around. She's like, "Well, there were companions with me that are no longer here. Would you do me a favor?
Of course.
Would you mind putting the beam across me and to the other side of me?"
Sure.
And as you do, she starts to nod, and you see the nod slow down to nothing, to frozen. And then as you shift the beam more to the other side of her, you see her unfreeze and come in sync with time with you chronologically again as she kind of walks forward. Much easier than me trying to figure out how to get through that. She kind of walks forward. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Eris Dawnforge. And she reaches out a hand.
My name is Manx, and these are my companions, the magical Fendrict and the wise Sensereth.
Very nice to meet you, gentlemen. Thank you for freeing me from the strange magic that was holding me there. And she's kind of looking around. Any ideas on how to get out of here?
Well, we've only just started our investigation of that very idea. It seems that this mirror has frozen you in place and slows things down. If we look at the other mirror, this one seems to be moving quite quickly.
Interesting. Make a perception check.
Perception. Derp, 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 derp.
Perfect. And you do notice that this, unlike any other room that you've come to so far, has a door at the very southern point. So right here, there is a door in the wall.
All right. I'm going to go investigate that door then.
Perfect. Go ahead and use your investigation. It seems to be a door. You try the handle. It is definitely locked. You see a keyhole, though.
All right. I'll do an Arcana check here just to see if there's anything special about this door.
Perfect. With that, it seems to have
Still a door.
It seems to have the same properties as the walls that you felt before. Implacable, immovable. Strength will not avail you. Strength will not avail you. Flame of voodoo.
I'm going to repeat this maneuver over here, and I'm just going to very delicately angle the beam this way. That way, it will still block anything that moves over to it.
Not you. All right. So, and as you move the beam, kind of there.
Yep.
And as you do, you see that the whirling dervish in front of you seems to slow down to this blade, moving just with a sing, 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 sing. And it seems to be a magically enchanted blade that is making a cube around the chest. Now recognizable, now that it is no longer under the effects of the beam.
Friends, move away from the middle of the room. I have an idea.
And, okay.
So what I will do is I will shift this beam so that it actually is pointed directly at the wall right there.
Perfect. And they all move out of the way as you point the beam over here.
And then I will go to this beam and shift it so that it is aimed at the magical sword.
Perfect. And so we'll just say this is so that's hitting the wall. It's not hitting the sword, just so you know.
Sure. Oh, friends, you may want to move her up again.
And as you as you say that, you say this as you're moving the beam, and you see Eris Dawnforge kind of smiles as you do this, and Fenrir's like, "Wait, no, I don't want." And he gets frozen and then unfrozen as the beam goes over him and behind him. To be frozen! Oh, thank God you didn't do it. I thought it was sure gonna freeze me. You move the beam over there. The sword slows and stops in place.
Perfect. And then what was the sword spinning around again?
You see now clearly that it is a chest. The chest is made of like this dark mahogany and black leather. It seems to have a keyhole at the front of it, and you notice that the metal. Make an intelligence check, just straight intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice the metal seems to be a bronze.
Bronze. All right. Assuming that the sword is now safely contained, I will do a quick Arcana check.
Perfect. All right, and then so doing an Arcana check, you do. This one's high enough. You do notice that this the chronological nature of this magic does seem to be affecting everything that the beam touches, and as of right now, it is touching the chest, so it might make things tricky.
Okay. Let's see. Do I want to reach out and grab that thing? Friends, keep an eye on this beam here. I'm going to attempt to shift this blade further out of the way. I do not want to remove it from the beam because I don't want it to start spinning back up again, but if reaching into it somehow transfers its effect through the blade to me, if you guys would move that beam.
Excellent. Yes, we can do that for you.
So let's just shift it, the sword, right to about there.
And as you reach forward to the beam for the sword, you just notice the sword starts to move slower and slower as you're reaching towards it, and then suddenly it starts moving faster. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
And before you can pull your hand back, it slices into your hand, and then getting let's see, 1d6 damage. So you take 1 point of slashing damage as the blade starts slicing again at normal speed. You look over, the beam is now pointed across the room. I'm sorry, my friend. You were frozen in place, so we decided it was best to move the beam off of you.
Okay, well, let's see. Let's go ahead and put that beam back on the sword, and I'm going to attempt to pull the chest. Now, let's see, yeah. Did you say the beam was hitting the chest?
The beam was hitting the chest.
And I'm assuming right now the sword is very slowly spinning.
Yep. Just sink, 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 sink.
All right, I'm going to make an athletics check to grab hold of the sword.
Perfect. Nice roll. That was actually a really high DC. And with it, you grab it, and you feel the magical forces of it pull your hand into its seemingly destined manner, and you feel it pull, and you wrench it out of the air, breaking it from its habit, and you feel this kind of almost similar to the same feeling that you feel of purpose emanating from the blade, but you seem to wrench it away from it, and you feel the purpose remains, but it now is held within your hands.
All right. Let's see. Am I required to keep a hold of the blade? Is it still looking to move?
It has the sense of purpose, but does not seem to pull against you.
Okay. Now that I have it in my hands, I will do a Arcana check on the sword.
Perfect. And do you have any identifying magic or anything? Holy shit, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Alright, so this was the only way you would have figured this out, actually. So you actually find out that it is a dancing short sword.
Okay. Which,
And,
what does that mean, and do I need to do anything to discover what that means?
Let me pull it over here. So a dancing short sword. Let me go and reveal that to you. So it's basically in combat. It can be used as a bonus action to hover in the air, but there seems to be a special type of dancing sword that you can assign a purpose, and it'll continually do what it was set to do. It'll guard something. It will follow commands. It's an advanced dancing sword. You're not sure exactly. You can't get the name of whoever made it or anything from your Arcana check, but you do know that this sword is something special that was given a purpose that has now been broken from that purpose. It's kind of like a set it and forget it kind of sword, almost automaton-like in its intelligence.
So it says here the command word. I'm going to ask, does that mean that since it's at rest now and I realize now that it's going to obey me, that I can simply sheath it?
Your Arcana check was good enough to know that you'll have to overpower the willpower of its previous owner somehow, through sheer willpower. Basically, you have to make a willpower check in order to control it for yourself.
Okay. Willpower.
Will saving throw.
Just need to find it.
That's your saving throws to the top left of your character sheet.
Top left.
Or sorry, it should be
Inspiration?
wisdom. Sorry.
Oh, wisdom. Okay, I was looking for willpower. I will do wisdom.
Good enough, actually. And
right.
so because it's never mind, that would be a spoiler. And then so with that, you feel the power over it fade, and then you feel it kind of almost settle in your hand, and then you feel not quite words, but you feel a yearning for purpose, almost a "what shall I do?" come to your brain as you go to sheath it. And as you go to sheath it, you notice as you let it go, you don't have a sheath for it, but it seems to hover by your side, awaiting your orders.
All right. Well, excellent. So now we have the newly revealed chess.
Mm-hmm.
You, just to reiterate, you said that it had a bronze lock on it. My Arcana check decided that it was
Not magical.
not magic. Well, in that case, I'm going to use my strength to simply snap the lid open.
Strength check. Good enough. And with that, you first you go to to grab it, wrench it open. Then you just grab each side of it, smack it into your horns, and then like a bottle opener, crack it open with your horns. And then inside of it, you see there is just a single large gem with a key inside of it. It's kind of like an
Excellent.
amber gem.
Okay. I will do just an Arcana on that.
Okay. The gem seems magical. The key does not. Or no, sorry. Everything about it seems magical. That's about what you're able to tell.
Okay. Well, let's see then. My friends are currently trapped behind the slow motion beam.
Mm-hmm.
I will reach out and take it.
Perfect. And you take it into your hands, and you looking into it. It does seem to have kind of a glamour to it. Like it draws your attention. It wants to be picked up, but nothing more than that. As you hold it, it's about that big. And as you hold it in your hand, the crystal having the key inside of it. Interesting. What have you found? And Senseiroth, he just kind of walks up the wall casually, and then walk back down the other side, and he kind of walks over to you. Hey,
Yes,
how did you? I should.
So I'm able to rotate these things, but can I actually push them around?
You
All
can
right,
certainly try.
I'm going to. Okay, first things first. Yes. I hold the gem out to him for him to look over.
And he kind of holds it in his hand. Interesting. Magical. Gith in origin. Githyanki in origin. I believe we can use this.
Perfect. All right. Before we get any further, I think what I will do is I will attempt to just simply shove this over so that we're no longer trapped on either side of it.
Okay, make a strength check.
Huh.
And as you kind of lean into it, your muscles bulge and blood pumps through you, and as you try to shove, nothing.
All right. Let's aim it at the other one.
Okay. And so you'll aim it at this. Okay, so you aim it at that one.
Yep.
All right, and then so you aim it at the statue itself, but you notice that the beam isn't reflecting the other mirror. Fendrick, seeing what you're doing, kind of runs over. Do you want me to try to turn it to face you?
Not me, but let's hit the other statue.
Okay. Okay, move it down a little bit. Yeah, move it south a little bit, so I can move this one.
Okay, I can just slightly angle the beam down to where it hits the mirror.
Perfect. And then with that, Fendrick starts to rotate this mirror as he brings the beam more in line with the one that was coming from this one. And you notice as the beams start to cross, the room starts to shake. And Fendrick says, as you notice the light in the middle of the room also starting to become brighter and brighter as these beams are conflicting with each other.
Guess we'll just keep going. What happens next?
And the globe in the middle of the room starts to become brighter and brighter, and you see it starts to crack. You feel the walls start to rumble as the dust is starting to raise up off the floor around the beams, and things are starting to crumble in the room. The table in the middle of the room where the beams met is starting to disintegrate.
All right, let's just move these things and let people walk through them.
Okay. Fendrick points his back down over near Sen, passing over both you and Sensei Wrath, and you feel the world speed up and then slow down for a room.
Okay, I will move mine back to the left of Arath? What's her name?
Eris.
Eris.
Eris Dawnforge. Alright, and then so you move it over there, and she's like, hold on. And as you're moving it, she kind of runs to the center of the room, gets frozen, and then unfrozen as you move it back.
Alright, well, let's go investigate this door, as it seems we now have a key.
Yes. Sincerith hands you back the giant crystal with the key embedded in it.
Is there anything that you can think of to get the key out?
Oh, I forgot to mention. After the last room, you find all of your spells and all of your health back.
Oh, good. All right.
You're completely restored.
Let me get myself back up to max here. There we go. Perfect. All right.
Simply put, break the gem and get the key inside.
Easy. I take the gem in my hand and just simply smash it against the wall.
Strength check. And as you smash it against the wall and crush it in your hands, you feel the stone is actually much more fragile than you were expecting, as it kind of crushes into a powder, almost like those sugar candy treats that are, yeah, and as that crushes, rock candy, yeah, but even more crushable. And then you find yourself holding a key against the wall as you crush it and open your hand, pull the key out, and the key is interesting. Instead of being like a normal skeleton key, you see it comes out, and then the tines on each end seem to morph in and out of existence at seemingly regular intervals.
Interesting. Well, now that the key is more easily accessible, I will do an arcana on it.
Perfect. Go ahead. You get that it's definitely a magical key, and there has to be something with the timing of it, with the way that the tines are appearing and disappearing. You get the sense that the whatever magic is on it repeats itself.
All right. Well, since there is a door and a keyhole and a key, I will simply put the key in the keyhole.
Perfect. You put the key in the keyhole. It goes all the way in and seems to lock into place.
And I'll turn it.
Perfect. And you turn it. It goes all the way around.
And the door.
It goes all the way around, and the door seeming you hear to stay click, and then an unclick. So.
Okay. I'll try the door.
Locked still.
Okay.
And you do feel the key still pulsating, still changing.
I don't know. I will leave it in there and just see if I can't like move the door while the key is changing inside the lock.
Okay. And as you kind of wait for a second, and you go to try the door, it seems to be stuck. And locked. And locked and locked.
Okay. Pull the key back out and look to my companions and just ask, has anyone ever seen anything like this?
Sensei Wrath kind of steps forward and he's like, it is a pattern lock. There must be something about it that will give us the clue on how to use it in the lock.
Let's see. I already did an Arcanum check on the lock.
Mm-hmm. Do just a straight investigation check.
Okay.
Okay. So investigating it, you notice that there are marks on the keyhole that are almost notches in a clock. There seem to be 12 of them total. And on the key, you notice there it has similar notches, but there's only 6 of them.
So there's 12 notches on the lock and 6 on the key.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I will put the key back in the lock, and I will turn it to match up with each of the notches in the lock and try the door.
And as you put it in, the first notch on the key matches with the top notch, and then one with the second notch, and one with the fourth notch, one with the sixth. So it matches up perfectly with the notches as you put it in.
Okay, I will try the door, assuming it's still locked.
Yep.
Okay. I'll turn it back toward its neutral position, then back to 6.
Perfect. And so back to 6. So you basically you turn it to neutral and then to 6.
Yeah, I put the key in at neutral, turn it to all of the notches towards 6, and then I just simply turn it back as you would if you were like unlocking a door.
Okay. So
and then try the door again.
And it seems to stay in place. Good thought, though.
Right. Let's try going to every second notch, so the key will go all the way around the lock.
So you turn the key all the way around, stopping at each notch?
Stopping every other notch.
Every
So
other
the
notch,
second one, the fourth one, the sixth one, until I get all the way back to
and as you get,
full circle.
As you get the full circle, you hear the click, click.
And the first time I did it at 6 o'clock, it was just the one click?
So the first time you turned it all the way around and heard the click, click.
Okay.
The 6
and then when I
o'clock
turned
seemed
it
to
to
reveal no results.
Okay. I'll turn it counterclockwise, the full
turn.
rotation.
You hear a click, click. You're so close.
So there were 6 notches in the key and 12 in the door?
Mm-hmm.
I already tried putting it to 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. So you tried half a turn.
Right. Let's try it at 3 o'clock.
Okay. Nothing seems to happen.
9 o'clock.
Nothing seems to happen.
And back to 11.
11? Not 12?
Right.
Nothing seems to happen.
And then all the way to 12.
Click, click.
Let's do that again for some neutral to 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Stopping each time.
How fast?
As fast as the key is changing.
Okay, so click, click. So turn, 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 click, click, as you stop at 12.
And try the door.
Nothing.
Hmm.
Sort of, you're overthinking it.
Well, put it back to 6 o'clock and then open the door when it's at 6 o'clock.
Nope. Even
No.
It's you were like right on that. Like, think about the number of notches on the lock and the number on the key and the difference between them.
6? I tried it at 6 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
which is straight down.
So you tried half.
So go to 6 o'clock, stop, go to 12 o'clock.
It doesn't open. So
God damn it.
you. This is really funny. Like, okay, so like I said, you've tried half. Would you if you inverted half? What would you get?
What?
If you inverted,
Like going to turn it counterclockwise?
you think. Okay, thinking in fractions. What is the opposite of half? If you inverted half.
2. Okay, let's go to 2 o'clock.
No.
Turn it around the lock twice?
And it opens.
Damn it.
I thought that would be super easy. I'm so sorry. I should have
You have
thought
to
of
make
more
things
clues.
more complicated for me.
I was thought, oh, okay, I'll just put 6 on the. Honestly, I should have swapped it where there was 6 on the keyhole and 12 on the key. That's fucking hilarious, though.
Oh, jeez.
It's okay. I had somebody test run this, and they just kept the beams on the light in the middle of the room until they blew up the room.
Well, I thought about that, but the one thing that I can see through in this game is that if things are in the room, it's because you put them there for a reason. So the next thing I was going to look at, I never looked at the lights because there was always something else to do in the room. So I assumed if there was nothing else to do, I would investigate the lights, but there was always something else to do.
Oh yeah, yeah. So far, okay. And so with that, you open the lock, and it just and opens. And as you walk forward, you see a few Gith guard kind of stepping forward, and the same person you saw before everything went black kind of reappear. And he walks forward. He's like, "Ah, yes, I see that you have made it this far. Luckily, the thing about temporal locks is we always have plenty of time to respond. Now, back to your cell, or else you'll be forced to, be killed or what have you."
At this point, I am definitively angry. What you have done here is you have denied death to so many souls. No more puzzles, no more locks, only death.
So you
With that, I will
choose
just simply
death.
charge in and attack immediately.
Perfect. And as you charge in, they draw their blades, and I'm gonna need some motherfucking, rolls for that good old. Hold on one second. We move all these turns, and then can you roll one more time? I'll give you your 21. Of course. Jesus, you are pissed.
Really want to use that one because I'd like to have that.
Oh no, I'll give you the 21. Go ahead and roll it. Do one more time so you appear in the turn order. Okay, turn order is definitely being weird. All right, no worries. I'm not sure why it's not adding you, but damn, dude, 21 for initiative. Thanks. Does not
He's
appreciate it. He's super pissed.
Super pissed.
Frederick, not so much. Man, I need. Sorry, without your initiative button, it's so funny. I'm so used to just highlighting characters and then just pressing that amazing button, whatever.
I'll see if I can't find it. It was just something that I found
Oh, really?
and modified, I think. Yeah, I looked it up. There's actually just web pages dedicated to helpful macros for this, and I think I just modified it. It might just there'd probably be several that you can choose from.
Interesting. Yeah, because I found some for sneak attack and different things, but it's just really frustrating because I'm so used to it being so easy because you were so awesome when we first started the game. See, like even there, I'm using the initiative. It's like, I feel like if I have it popped out,
You may
it
have to
doesn't work.
select the person and then go from there, but I don't
I'll try
remember.
that. Let's see. So let's try these other Githyanki. How are you enjoying your dungeon so far?
It's fun. I mean, I'm pretty self-conscious because I mean, my sphere of understanding of like how games are run is like I don't know exactly what options I have open to me or the way the puzzles work or I think I'm just too caught up as that key probably demonstrated in the mechanics of it.
No, actually, you're doing perfectly. Like you've done exactly what what the person before you they had similar. They didn't have like the exact same solutions that you did, but you've done absolutely everything like beautifully. Like you've done nothing mechanically wrong. Like you're just kicking ass. Like do not feel
Hooray!
self-conscious at all. Like this is how you
Oh
play.
yeah, it's super because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna role play. I'm gonna read my character stats. I'm gonna do things. I'm gonna investigate.
Yeah, dude,
One of these things is gonna start failing. Two of these things are gonna start failing.
Yeah, dude, you're doing amazing. Do not feel self-conscious.
Hooray!
All right, so
Yep.
with that, you go first.
All right, I am going to just immediately slam in there. I didn't say dash, but I did say charge.
And you actually have a charge feature, being a Minotaur.
Yes, exactly.
So are you using your charger, or Goring Rush, or
That's what I was looking at here. Actually, there were two.
so you can combo your charger and your Great Weapon Master to not take any minus to your attack, to get the bonus to your Great Weapon Master, and have the chance to knock somebody backwards 10 feet if you wish.
Let's do that then.
All right. So as you
So
run
we'll
up,
do the great weapon with the charge. So you said that'll just knock those out.
yeah. So you still get your regular +2 to attack.
All right. So then will be my great weapon attack as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I will swing my scythe directly into the guy in the back.
Perfect. Roll the attack.
But do I get a bonus on the hit?
Since
No, I
you're
just.
a charging centaur who's pissed enough to roll a 21, I'll give you advantage
Hooray!
because. Okay, so
Plus 2.
21. So 23. Good God. And where's my stupid? Okay, there we go. And then you knock him back 10 feet, but there's only 6 feet for him to go, so he smacks into the back wall. Taking another d6 of damage, and all 6 points of the d6 as he slams into the back wall.
Ah, yes!
And then, what would you like to hit with your second attack?
I will just swing it around rapidly to my right and catch this guy again with the scythe.
Ooh, you hit it! That's the natural 20, so you add 3d6 to this attack.
Excellent. Wow, so did that add in?
No, you have to actually roll the 3d6.
Okay,
So, fucking
so it's actually
17,
what? It's 17 plus.
Then roll
3d6.
3d6. Jesus Christ! Oh, interesting. So you did the
cinematic
17
after.
Oh, fucking hell, dude.
That is very nice. So this is very cinematic. I'm loving
It
this
is.
after having to.
You charge in, and as you're running forward, you lower your horns, and you let out a bellow of rage as you stab into the guy who'd been talking too much shit and tried to deny you your destiny, who had taken you off of your path. Your horns, you feel the energy surge as you stab into his chest, and then you stop and fling him off of your horns, throwing him into the back wall. And then to your right, you just immediately swing your scythe as it bites into and sticks halfway through the chest of the guy to your right as he looks terrified up at you. And that'll bring us to the Githyanki Knight. And so he's going to take another step forward to re-engage you and attack with his silver greatsword.
Ow.
He crit his first one. So that's going to do 21... Oh, damn, he even crit for damage. 21, 28... 28 slashing... Or, sorry. 21 slashing damage and 19 psychic damage.
Man, 48.
Jesus God, I've never crit with that. And then his second attack missed. Sorry.
I
He-
will reach
he didn't-
around with Hellish Rebuke immediately.
Hit it. What level?
Level 2, so actually whatever the highest I can cast. I think all my spells are level 2, so.
The highest your spells, you have 3 available second level slots and 4 available first level slots.
Okay, then I'll do level 2.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll it. So he needs a dexterity saving throw. Ooh, meet it and beat it. So as you reach out with the Hellish Rebuke, your eyes flaring, the fire coming up, and then he nimbly dodges out of the way, ducking down and swiping as he knocks the flames away from himself. That'll bring us to the Githyanki warriors to each side of you. The first one's going to attack you with his great sword. He's going to actually crit because you're being flanked by his other guy. Oh, good God. Alright, so he's going to do...
Oh, I get half damage on the successful save still.
Oh, half damage, so 4 damage, or 5 damage on the... Perfect, so I'll give him his 5 damage for the rebuke. And the... Or, no, not 5 damage. I do apologize. That is 8 damage from the 16. Alright, and then, so the other Githyanki's going to hit you for 16 slashing and 15 psychic. So 31 points.
Did he have advantage? Oh, he has advantage, okay.
Because you're being flanked. And then the one on the other side's going to attack you with his great sword.
What was the total damage for that one, I'm sorry?
Total damage was 31.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't believe you got double crit. That was crazy. The other guy's gonna miss, though, so... Or no, he has advantage. He actually hits. 14 more damage.
I'm down to 3.
Shit, dude. Alright, and so that'll bring us to Sensei Wrath, who is going to charge. He's going to just run straight at this guy and go to attack him with his charger feat, so he gets a plus fucking 10 to hit. It's not a terrible roll. But they're wearing half plates, so it doesn't hit. Man, that's crazy. I've never seen, like... The other time I won, I rolled this, like, for a test run, he was just invincible. So he's gonna spend 2 key points and, Okay, so the second one he hits, he's gonna use one of the, one of his staff... you see his staff, like, suddenly flares with a certain strange energy. And, he's gonna take... 2d10 more damage. Yes! So 26 damage. And as he strikes him with the staff, you see as the staff, which has the shape of a hand on the top of it, like a strange withered hand, it hits, and as it smacks across the top of the Githyanki's head, you see Sensei Wrath kind of surge with energy. His hair billows back, and you see the energy flow from the Githyanki that he smacked back into him as the Githyanki falls, and his face, his skin tight to his face as if somebody dried him out. Bring us to Fendrick. I'm just gonna run over here, and then he is going to cast something good. He is going to actually look down at his rod, and he's gonna be like, "Okay, well, here goes nothing." And then he's going to fire it, and I have to roll the D100 to find out what happens. Okay.
I forgot that they get +2 to their hit rolls too.
Oh, +2 would have hit then. So
yeah, now he's close enough to me to get it.
Okay, so +2 would have hit when he charged. Let me roll the damage on that real quick.
But I guess he killed the guy anyways, so. And he's not in a position to hit anyone else.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Alright,
Next time.
Next time! Alright, so what does this crazy thing do? Hold on one second. I created this very strange weapon. Oh shit. Okay, that looks like it's gonna do... Chain lightning? No, I apologize. That's prismatic Hooray. Oh, Lord, I don't want to read all that. It does chain lightning. So, 15 dexterity saving throw for... Doesn't make it. So many windows open! Doesn't make it. Holy crap. Okay, so 36 damage to both of them. As you see, he looks down at his the thing in his hand. Ah! Well, that worked! Get him! And that'll bring us to, where is she? One moment, sir. Ariston Forge. And she is going to... Oh, she's not set up. Okay. She's going to walk up to you and cast Healing... Healing... It's a touch, I believe. Or no, she's going to Cure Wounds. She's going to run up and hit you with a Cure Wounds at 3rd level. So it'll be 3d8. And then +4 for spellcasting modifier. So you heal 20 points of damage.
Perfect.
And it's back to your turn.
All right, my first action, I will use Lay on Hands on myself for the full 40 points.
All you, and that's a bonus action.
All on me, yep, just to bring myself back all the way up to 63.
Hell yeah.
That does expend all those points, but thank Christ. I don't think I get my other let me just check real quick. I don't think I get my other attack if I don't use an attack.
No, you get, so is it, did you use a bonus action or an action?
I don't know. Doesn't it have to be?
Hold on, let me check Lay on Hands.
Yeah,
okay, so Lay on Hands is an action, so that would expend your
Yes.
action. So do you have
Okay,
any things you can do as a bonus action?
Let me just find this.
My martini is gone.
Yeah, I only get it if I attack. So I will look at a bonus action. So I will just use a spell.
Perfect.
That's
Can
a
you-
reaction. That's an action. That's a bonus action. That's not what I want.
If you go to actions and bonus actions in D&D Beyond, it'll break down the spells you can do. So it looks like you have Shield of Faith, Wrathful Smite, Searing Smite, Compelled Duel, and Branding Smite.
Oh, perfect. All right. I don't want a next time. I want.
Now, the only one that would be not next time would be Shield of Faith or Compelled Duel.
Let's see. Alright, then I will do Compelled Duel, and I will cast it on the main dude up there. The first guy to crit me in the nut.
Alright, go ahead and cast it. What's the saving throw?
Let's see.
I don't think it's in
Wisdom
D&D.
13.
Wisdom 13.
Wisdom 13. Yeah.
And as you cast it, you see his eyes, already filled with hate, kind of narrow, and he pulls up his sword in a more of attack stance, and he sets himself down. He's like, "Death it is." And that'll bring
Alright,
us
he has
to...
disadvantage to me, and he cannot move away from me without taking a test.
Perfect. So with that, he is going to just lunge into you. He is going to use his silver greatsword. You said he has disadvantage on his attacks?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that misses. And then the second one. He really fucking hates you. He actually
He
hit you with
really
disadvantage.
does hate me. Good God.
For 40 damage. 20
Are
slashing,
you
20
shitting
psychic.
me? Well, I wrote my Lay on Hands. Thank goodness I used it.
Fucking hell, dude. That is crazy. Like, to get a 23 with disadvantage is unheard of.
That's insane. Well, I'm going to use Hellish Rebuke again then. Meh.
Hit it.
Are we going to... Oh, there we go. 2, 2.
Dex save. Doesn't make it.
Hooray!
6 points of fire damage. And as the flames reach out and they hit him, and as they burn into his head, you see this symbol that you barely recognize, but it seems to you to spell the name of your god in his forehead. You know not the name, just this symbol means your god. And as he kind of shakes it off, you notice he's looking very, very rough.
Oh, you cut out looking very, very...
Rough, like he is beat to shit. Let's see. The Gith warrior next to you is going to... He's going to cast Misty Step, or no, yeah, he's going to cast Misty Step, and then reappear behind Fendrick, who's going to be, oh, hello! A great sword attack, fucking, holy shit. 19, 26, 35 points of damage to the small man. Note to self, don't fuck around with...
Those guys are bastards.
Yeah, and you see him as he cuts the back of... You see him appear around Fendrick is like, well, that's lucky! As the sword comes across the back and it slices deep into him, almost knocking the halfling prone as he's like holding his back in pain. And that'll bring us to Sensei Wrath, who's going to run and try to attack this guy. He's going to be out of your range, but hopefully he can make his... Oh, yes, he fucking hit him. He finally hit somebody. Alright, and so he's going to be jumping in with his staff, and that's the staff. Doesn't matter. I didn't. So he hits him with the 7 bludgeoning damage, and then knocks him in. And he's going to expend another charge of his staff of withering to do another 3d10, which is a much saving throw on the Constitution. It's DC 15, so he doesn't make it. Another 3d10 damage. You fucking 3d10, you get 9? Okay, it was barely enough. And so as you see, he runs up, and as he's charging, he brings the staff from behind him, and then raises it over his head, and brings it in and cracks it into the side of the other Githyanki. You see, as the staff hits, you see it reverberate, and the life force, you can almost feel it, being an entity of death, fly out of his head and then draw into the staff as his body withers and shrinks into the second before it slams into the wall and disintegrates into dust and bones. Fendrick is laying on the ground, recovering. He's gonna stand up to use his movement to stand up, and then he's gonna be like, "All right, just finish this fucker," and he's gonna cast haste on you. And then that'll bring us to your turn.
All right.
Oh wait, no, sorry. You're going to get healed again.
What's her name?
Yeah. Eris Dawnforge is going to cast Cure Wounds on you again, as she's standing in the back there. So another 3d8. 13 damage is healed as she kind of like stands back to back against you, and then kind of like you feel her hands kind of touch you on the back of the shoulders. Please save us from this place. And then you feel the healing as your wounds from this horrifying blade seem to heal. And now it's your turn.
In the name of the unknown god of death, die.
And the first attack strikes, and he nimbly steps back and parries it, and he's like, "Not today." And the second one, he barely is able to parry out in time. And the third one, since you're hasted, you get advantage on your attacks.
Thank Christ. +2.
And with that, his parries, to the side, parries again, to the side, and he starts to smile. Your god of death needs more. And with that, your extra speed, you bring the scythe. Instead of attacking up and being parried, you bring it down and under his defenses. He goes to parry low, and he manages to catch the staff of the scythe as it buries into his stomach, and then you pull it up, pulling him up eye to eye with you as you pull him closer, him embedded on your blade, and you stare him down in the face. Death comes for all, and today was your time. And then you just reach out, and then push him off of your staff. This blood exploding from him as he hits the ground. As you push him off of your scythe. And then you turn around and look around at your compatriots all standing around you. As they all kind of slowly walk forth. Fendrick, rather large gash in his back. And he's kind of like leaping forward. Oh, well, we know about that. 1,000 lifetimes and a few bloody battles later, we've made it out. I think.
Don't worry, friend. And I will reach out and just gently help him a little bit.
So 11 points of healing. Perfect. And as you heal him, he starts to straighten up a little bit. That's... So you can do more than just kill. I like that. In a man, beast, minotaur thing. Sorry. Thank you.
All right, so...
Well, did they have anything on them?
Let's take a look. Do some investigation on their corpses.
Investigation. Perfect. So, rifling through their pockets and everything, you find that the main leader guy had a 2 scrolls and a wand on him.
All right. Well, we will. I guess I'll do an Arcana just to see what kind of scrolls they are.
Perfect.
And the wand, I guess.
Okay, so for the first scroll, you get the idea that it's a conjuration spell.
Okay. And the second scroll.
Second scroll, hard to tell.
And the wand.
A wand that has something to do with invocation.
All right. Vendrick, I think that these have your name on them.
Yes, allow me. And he kind of takes a look at the scrolls. And then he puts that one away. Well, that's quite interesting. It seems like they were pirates for more than just this place. I believe I can get us home with this.
All right. Then let's make haste.
All right, gather around. This thing is quite brittle, so I don't know what will happen, but all I can say is it has been wonderful escaping with you all, and I can't wait to be back in my old boring life without this and with much more books and study. Sensei Wrath looks around and he kind of takes a step back away from everybody. This place will continue to be the same if there is no one to change it. I believe I should be the one to change this place. And as he kind of, again, crosses his leg and floats in the air a little bit over the glowing orb of light, he's like, with them gone, I believe the position and vacuum of power is open. And I shall be the one to seize it. This place shall no longer be a prison everlasting for those unfortunate enough to cross the path of the Githyanki. For it is the Githzerai who claim this place now. Any who wish to stay and fight with me are more than welcome. But those of you who have more important purposes, and he kind of looks you dead in the eye, I understand purpose.
I wish you fair journey, but this place is beyond death. I have a place. I must fulfill it.
And so shall I. To a great purpose, may you fulfill it in your time. And he kind of like nods forward. Eris Dawnforge, this kind of elf who she steps forward. She's like, I also have a purpose, but I don't believe mine is anything more than to teach other saviors of people. Would you agree, Fendrick? Oh, my purpose is to study and learn more and not be attacked by things as long as I can help it. Shall we then? And he kind of reaches out his hand.
Take your hand and let's go.
And Eris also reaches out her hand. You kind of do the on top. And then he casts the spell. Everything goes white. And you feel the eyes behind your eyes. Yes, my champion, you found your way back. Your purpose is great. You shall take many steps in the right direction. Find the elf, find the halfling in this place. They shall lead you in the right direction. And then as you see, like, kind of the whiteness in front of your eyes crack and crack again like a broken mirror, and the shards of this whiteness seem to fall away before your eyes as you feel yourself once again in the mortal realm. You look around and you see around you trees, a forest with heavy grass, and suddenly your purpose once again fulfills you. You feel the draw. You feel the presence of Achilles the Undying. You feel yourself drawn to it. You feel it's more powerful than when you left. You have no idea how long you've been away, but you know now your purpose has returned. You, Manx, have returned. That's where we'll end.
Right on, dude. Very cool. I have to say, my favorite part is your description of the fights. Like,
oh, that's the easy
very
part.
cool.
So. I'm glad you liked it.
Well, yeah, but that's the part that's the most visceral. You know, that's cool. But well done, dude. That's a lot of nice work you put into it. It really shows. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. I'm glad we got. Is this one I tried to make it so it was at least short enough we could get through it in a single night, because you know, I know there was, depending on how I rolled, there was many different rooms you could have gone to, actually, which is the funny thing. Like, there was like a sphinx, there was a water one where you'd have to be like swimming around and fighting things. There was a lava level. Like, it's interesting that you rolled both puzzles, which is funny because it was supposed. I actually, I weighted it so it would be more combat than puzzles, but you just ended up in the staircase and the beams. And I gotta admit, I'm really, really happy with the staircase puzzle because it is so awesome and so fucked up.
It is. It was really, like I said. I mean, it was. Everything was really good. Like, I really enjoyed it. I mean, definitely, you know, my discomfort isn't with like anything being wrong with the game. It's just like you know.
Oh, well, that's.
I'm unused to like what the options are, the best way to like do it, or the way to experience it. And I'm like, I gotta find a voice for my character. I should look this up. I should be more interactive with the people in my group. I should think about this. How would TJ do? Because he's really good at like playing those characters too. And I'm just like, I don't know. And all of them just start to fail slowly.
Actually, you did beautifully, man. Like you interacted with the group. You had, you know, kind of beautiful moments when you know, you were on the staircase and going through the trials and tribulations with your team. You fought and you had emotional reactions to things that were going on. Like, just being engaged and having emotional reactions and having, you know, ideas for when clues and stuff come up. That's the best way to play D&D. There's no...
Hold on.
Mechanically, there are so many different things that you can do. But if you can't, like... Most of the time, the puzzles will have nothing to do with mechanics. Is the fun part. Like, as I'm pretty sure I kind of showed here, like, you can use the mechanics to get better clues on how to solve the puzzles, but overall, the puzzles are just up to your mind. As far as combat goes, you know, you used your charging feat, used Great Weapon Master, you mastered, you know, kind of the idea of your bonus actions, you managed your attacks well. Like, that part was beautifully smooth. It was easy as pie. Like, you know, you are set and good to go. Like, you did beautifully. I was really happy, actually, with the way that you interacted and did it.
Well, thank you. Like I said, it's good practice because, I mean, we've, you know, the times that we've always played, it's been very easy to kind of get to the point where you're, like, watching you and TJ because you guys are really, really good at, you know, doing a lot of the personification of your characters and interacting with the environment, and it's very easy to sit back and be like, this is fun, I want to watch.
And like, so there's nothing. Well, that's just it. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, especially like you kind of tend towards more quiet characters that you make. So there's nothing out of character for your character to be sitting and watching and waiting for the right moment to speak. You know, between you know, both Manx and oh my God, what's his name? I forgot his name. Totally blanking on your monk.
Oh,
the Living Monastery.
Living Monastery. I don't remember his name. Let me go look.
Let me pull it up. Yeah.
Characters. Shanoth.
Shanoth. That's right. Oh yeah, that's right. Shanoth Jr. still exists in the world, by the way. You're actually.
I need to sit and like.
Shanoth
like to sit
is. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, what?
No, go ahead. I'm changing topics. Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say Shanoth is actually, because he headed back to the school, and that's where Shanoth Jr. is. He's actively training Shanoth Jr. in the ways of the monk and his monastery.
Jr. the crow?
Yeah, the
little like, hey, I like
who
you.
Started out as started life
awesome.
as a Kenku and then was awakened.
I need to sit with what I was gonna say. I need to sit with my mic and figure out a voice.
Yeah, that's
You know, like I'm capable of it, but it's hard to like make something up and then not feel stupid about it. So it's like I need to just record a few things until I get it, you know, the way that I
actually
want it to sound.
the best way I've found for coming up with a voice for me, as far as like characters and stuff. And it's actually funny. Mike's gonna be DMing a session where I'm playing a changeling paladin rogue. Um, and so I kind of cheated where I wouldn't have to come up with one voice. I could just keep changing it around. But I
Oh,
find
nice.
kind of looking at like finding a good character
The
portrait.
Overwatch Wheel of Fortune voices that Candace did to you guys was so good.
That was fantastic. I had so much
Oh
fun.
man, and the times where it was like,
I don't know that one, but I'll do my best.
I'll do my best. How about this? Hooray!
But if you
I'd
look,
like to- Yeah.
I think I found a good weapon portrait for Manx. What did you think of the one that I found for him?
No, I like it a lot. I think it's great. I'd like to maybe shift it around instead of having my normal avatar down here for this game. It'd be fun to actually put the character's avatar.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that you can do in your Roll20 settings. But I like to kind of like find a really good character out of kind of like the concept that I have in my brain, and then kind of stare at it and kind of try to think of what that character would sound like. So when I like looking at Fendrick, he just looks kind of like, oh, okay, so I'm here. We're doing stuff, I guess, because he doesn't look like entirely confident. He has. He's got a wand and he's kind of rough looking, but he's got like all sorts of like little gadgets and things around him that he's clearly trying to.
That's what I see in my head. Like the image in my head of Manx is, extremely large, extremely tall, extremely, covered in plate and, chainmail that's just like dripping with, oil and, functional,
oil.
but corrosion is kind of in there too. But there's just a mass, speed. Yeah, other than his charge, which his charge is more of like that lumbering, just like I'm going to use my strength and gravity at the same time to get going. And that idea of just this massive, massive scythe blade, just like black pitted iron that he just, as he walks, he just drags the blade on the ground behind him. That's so what I think of is like a very sonorous, deep, thoughtful, even contemplative voice. That's kind of like a slower version of what's his name? The bourbon poured on gravel is the way that people describe his voice. He's a singer. He was the mad scientist in Mystery Men. I know it's TJ's favorite movie.
Movie. The Mad Scientist.
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
it's,
I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, that guy, and very much of that, and so it's really a matter of like, learning to use the mic to really rumble that sound deeper and deeper and deeper.
For kind of what you're describing, what I do for that kind of voice is start with then try to pull down into it. So you've got your rumble, you've got that, and then it comes to the enunciation. And then if you want a harsher enunciation, add some more rumble to it. Add anger, and then you have a character to it. If he's more
Yeah,
gentle,
that's great.
kind of roll it
Yeah.
back a little bit. But like,
I
start
have
with
like 17 starbursts so in my throat, so it's all like,
beautiful.
Actually, the voice that I like? It's oh boy. Well, I'm not gonna worry about it. Blink right now. In Underworld.
Yeah.
In the first Underworld movie, in the very beginning, the lieutenant for Lucius, the big black guy who was the werewolf in the tunnel down there in the subway, that guy's voice, where it just has this clip and storm, and all he says at the very beginning is he looks around and goes, "Whoa!" like that. I just love that. He has a great voice. Like that's what I would like.
That's awesome.
Right there. I'll just find a voice modulator and hook it to the mic
there you
here,
go.
and then I won't worry about it.
If you can do that, perfect. Actually, that reminds me, I forgot something. So, would you mind jumping back into character for me?
Sure.
I do apologize. I am super sorry. I just remembered it as we were talking about this. So, as you find yourself into the normal realm, you go to reach for your scythe, and your regular scythe, the one you've known since you became, is gone. Instead, in its place, you find this long, dark wrought iron, seemingly rusting, but where rust would be is a blood color, kind of like a deep, almost glowing with hot ferric energy, like almost as it's heated metal, but instead of rusting or changing, it's bleeding, but never quite breaking the surface of the skin of the steel. Around it at the top, you see floating, instead of being attached to it, there are crystals that go out and form the scythe of the blade, getting each longer and longer and longer. And as you look at it and focus, they compact down into a mace. And as you focus again, they extend out into a great sword. And then back into the scythe. Your god seems to have blessed you with a modular weapon that can change its shape. You see, Fendrick is nowhere to be found, but Eris Dawnforge is standing next to you. She looks up at you and she's like, well, I'm going to teach the next adventurers of this world, and if you can find my students, I'm sure you could help them, and they could help you find whatever is the great purpose that Sensei Roth said you were burdened with, Manx. And that's where we'll end.
Okay, great, awesome.
Yeah, I forgot, because I remember conceptualizing the blade that you would get for finishing your one-off, and then I just completely forgot to put it in at the end there. Yeah, so basically
Awesome.
it's a great weapon that you can switch back and forth between scythe sword, great axe, and great mace, war mace, I guess.
Awesome.
Yeah. And
That is fantastic.
would you like to do more adventures as Manx? Do you want to? What would you like to do with Manx from this point on? I'll go ahead and. Oh,
Yeah,
actually, you know
sure.
what? I'll go ahead and stop streaming at this point. Not everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll
Thanks,
continue
everyone.
with this.